like I'm missing something. Oh, wait. There it is. There it is. I wonder if my alerts are going to work today. Charles, what's up? Griffin, Panda. Extinct, Purple Kimber. Jack, Will, Jen, Marissa, B. What's going on, guys? Okay. All right. Just drinking water. Definitely not Red Bull at night. All right, what's going on? We got a storm to talk about. I hate to see it. I know you do. I know. We got a little bit of a storm to talk about. Oh boy. Carolinas. As I said, Carolinas are still looking nice. Some confidence up through, central to southeastern Maryland. Maybe a little Jersey, Delaware, Long Island, Rhode Island, Mass, coastal Maine. It's getting real spicy. It's getting real spicy. Real spicy. Let me take a look at some of the updates here, guys. I'm pretty sure I've seen them all, though. But we're going to... maybe I haven't. Joey, $2 super chat over on YouTube. I appreciate you. Do you think Lehigh Valley, PA will get any snow? Right now, we need a big jump to the west, and this storm is only about 80 hours away from taking shape. Lehigh Valley could get snow. I'd probably give you like a 20 to 30% chance. We're going to need a little bit more of a hook. We're going to take a look at the 500 millibar height ensembles, and if I see a bunch more blocking up there over Greenland, maybe I will say Lehigh Valley is actually going to get snow. So we'll take a look at that in a second. Marissa, B, Stevie, Sprinkler Guy, KJ, Stevie with the football helmet. That's kind of cool. Jasmine, Michaela, Ali, what's going on? I didn't schedule 2 live streams. That's just YouTube being buggy. If so, it does that all the time. I will go into manage broadcast in my OBS and fix one setting, in my settings in OBS, and it'll schedule another stream. I won't actually hit schedule stream. It'll just schedule. I could be like, oh, I forgot to put a comma when I was writing the description for the stream, and I'll put a comma and save, and then it schedules another stream. I don't know what to tell you. All right, snow map. We're not getting anything, of course. Nope, that's not what I want. Sorry, guys. We'll get started in 1 second. So I'll make sure I got everything up here. Precipitation portal. We're going to be seeing what the NWS thinks soon on the precipitation portal. All right, give me 1 second, guys. Oh, my gosh. Something's stuck in my throat. I think we've all seen the latest Euro, right? I'm sure all of you have seen it. Let me actually fix that. Let me unschedule my other stream. Something caught in my throat. I only see one stream right now. Maybe it can't. No, yeah, there's another one waiting. I'll cancel that one. Give me a second. Come on, cancel, please. Cancel, please. No, it's gonna make me go. Oh my god, the things it makes me do. All the way into YouTube Studio. Content. Live. Oh, Lord. Upcoming. Delete forever. Yes, because I added a comma to my description. Hopefully I deleted the right one and I didn't just drop my live. I think I'm good though. Am I still live on YouTube? I think I am. I can't be that. I'm not that dumb. All right. I think we're good. Cool. I'm back. Let's get started. Just wanted to clear that up in case everyone's trying to jump in the other stream. Almost 100 people in YouTube already. We pop it off on YouTube. How we doing on our TikTok? 321 people in here. Maybe I should get started and stop blabbering, right, guys? Here's the latest Euro. Boom. A little bit of Georgia snow. A little bit of South Carolina snow. A little bit of Carolina snow. A little bit of Eastern Tennessee snow. A little bit of Appalachian snow. A little bit of Virginia snow. A little bit of Maryland snow. A little bit of Delaware snow. A little bit of coastal New Jersey snow. Long Island snow. Maybe a little bit of Connecticut snow. Rhode Island. Mass. Boom. Maine. Still a tiny bit off the coast. Biggest impacts into the Carolinas and Virginia with the latest Euro. Look at this. Look at this. It's just 87 hours out. We start to get our low developing. We are getting into crunch time. The latest GFS, and we're going to go over all this, and I'm going to answer all your questions. The latest GFS, well, would you look at that? Where was the GFS a little bit ago? It's actually been pretty good all day today. Nice and tight towards the coast. Beautiful. You love to see it. Let's look at our trends. Compare runs. Let's take a look. Does that look like a trend west, guys? A little bit. It's not a trend east, is it? Not a trend east. Canadian. I will get to your question shortly. Yep. Thanks, Jasmine. The Canadian has... Oh. By the way, the Canadian has consistently showed this closest to the coast. Remember when everyone was freaking out because the European and GFS were off the coast? And I said, yeah, but our European AI and our Canadian are close to the coast. Which model won last time? Which model won last weekend's winter storm? The Canadian was correct. Is the Canadian going to be correct 2 times in a row? The Canadian has been the only model that consistently put snow down into the Carolinas and has tried to consistently create a nor'easter. It looks like we might just miss a nor'easter. Still possible. Still possible we get a big nor'easter with this. But the Canadian has not wavered in its confidence in this. Whereas some of the other models were running off the coast. I don't know what they did to the Canadian over the last couple of weeks. Maybe they did a freaking big reset, restart, new algorithm, and they didn't tell anyone. It was about, yeah, go Canada. I mean, hey, seriously, they're killing it with the weather models. It's about to be 2 straight storms potentially because everything just trended towards the Canadian again. So, good things to pay attention to. Here's our latest UK. Although the UK is still kind of eh. Here's the latest UK. Off the shore. It's okay. That's only one of the models. Let's take a look at our icon. Actually, we'll go over to pivotal weather. Although is the icon only going to give us a 12Z? Oh, the 00Z of the icon's loading, huh? Oh, we're in for a treat. Look at that. Just in time. Just in time, guys. There it is. The icon puts snow out towards the Carolinas too, but the icon and UK have this a little bit farther off the coast. They've been out there for a while. They've been out there for a while. Let's go back to the European AI. I'm almost done, guys. Then I'm going to get to your questions. Just want to run over with all the latest. European AI loves snow into Georgia and the Carolinas and Virginia. Big nor'easter right up the coast. Potential nor'easter right up the coast. This would end up just being a bunch of wind. This would be probably snow for eastern Long Island and snow for Boston, but wind for the rest of us up there. But still big snow impacts probably into South Carolina, or winter storm impacts into South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and listen, there's our storm. Models trends, so we'll see if it bounces this way. Still could bounce farther east, but it's looking impressive. All right, this is the GraphCast. Ooh. Hold up. Ooh, did the GraphCast come even further in, or am I tripping, guys? Where was the 12Z GraphCast? It was still pretty close. About the same. About the same. Okay. About the same. Stronger storm, maybe a little bit. Maybe a 2 miles more offshore. That's a big storm into Long Island, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. Still a big, pretty decent impacts. Potentially good snow into portions of eastern Georgia, the Carolinas, and Virginia, southeastern Maryland as well. So interesting. There's everything. Here's the latest national blend before I get to questions. And the last thing I'm going to look at before I get to questions is what's our blocking doing? What is our blocking doing up to the north? We now have a Euro that is much closer to the coast. And let's go back to where we were with the 00Z yesterday. Let's go all the way back to the 18Z. Not much happening. That one never loaded. Way off the coast, and then suddenly, whoa. Look at what we just, I should actually do this. Look at that. Look at that. Last run, this run. Last run, this run, where it is. But that's not really what I care about here. This is the last thing I'm getting to, guys, and then I'll get to your questions. Upper air heights, 500 millibar height anomaly. What changed? Could it be bigger? Could it be more significant blocking up near Greenland? In fact, there is better blocking. It's not much, but when we're just trying to slide the storm over 20 miles, it means a lot. Watch the red up here. Watch our reds up here. There's the 18Z. There was the 12Z. You see how it amplifies up north? A little bit more amplification into our ridge. And for, like I said, for just a 20, 30 mile shift, sometimes that's all you need. Just a little bit heavier blocking just to allow it to pivot. Watch that ridge grow there. Sometimes that's all you need. Ooh, boy. This is so close to a big nor'easter. We'll see what happens, but the Carolinas look good. All right, what's going on? I want to start answering questions. European AI. Oh, yeah, and the European AI has some really nice blocking up there, too. Did that trend from the 12Z? Yeah, look at the European AI, guys. Last thing, sorry, I just noticed it when I asked you guys if you had questions. Boom. There's the old run. Watch the new run of the 18Z. There it is. Our blocking is growing up in Greenland. Love it. Love to see it. What is the storm looking like for Boston? It's looking like you're going to get a foot of snow or you're going to get nothing. And it's literally going to be that close. You might see it blizzarding if you're standing on the coast of Boston. No, very, very. I was saying it in my stream yesterday. I've been saying it since last Friday. That this storm is going to drop snow somewhere in the south, probably the southeast, but I wasn't sure if it was going to run up the coast. And, oh, my gosh, it's looking like that southeastern snow is almost all but guaranteed. I'm not going to guarantee it yet. Let's wait until our 12Z tomorrow. Actually, maybe even our 000 tonight. We'll see. But because now we're in forecasting range. We're getting into that 96-hour range. Confidence is going way up down here. We know we're now – I'm now in 75% confident in the – maybe Georgia, but definitely Carolina snow. Definitely, I think, a little bit into Virginia, Appalachia, maybe eastern Tennessee. I'm like 75% confident in that now, but I'm still a 50-50 as this gets up the coast just because a little wobble east, no snow for anyone, a little wobble west. Biggest snowstorm you guys have seen in like 8 years. So, yeah, so I'm not going to sell out and tell you what I think about that yet. It's just too close, but the southeastern snow looks good. Southeastern Maryland especially, too. I think southeastern Virginia, regardless of what happens here, you guys get snow from this. Probably southern Delaware, too. It's really once we get up to South Jersey, the Philly area, and up the coast there, it's really this area because, like, this is all – we're seeing the models come together here. This is the question. This is the question. Who sees snow here? That's the question. Big, little snow. Jersey Shore, again, I actually think Jersey Shore is looking good to see snow from this, but – if it's just too far off the coast, you might only see a couple inches. But it's actually just going to be snow. You're not going to really – I'm not expecting much mixing with this. You might get some flakes flying across Florida. I'm not expecting much mixing with this into upstate South Carolina, North Carolina, or along the coast too, depending on – it depends on how this moves. But record-breaking cold air is behind this. So praying Baltimore gets some. What does the blockage do? Viral games. When we have blocking up to the northeast, here's what our storm wants to do. Here's our trough diving in. A storm system forms along it, and the storm system wants to run off the coast. But if our trough runs into some blocking up here, this trough can't keep moving. It stalls, and then this frontal boundary, instead of continuing off and our storm continuing off, it pulls the storm up the coast, and it stalls the frontal boundary, and it allows our storm to ride up that southwesterly flow. If we don't have blockage, imagine this is how the trough goes. It's in like this. It's in like this. It just moves out like this, right? It moves straight out. That was a really bad drawing. But you get blockage. It comes in like this, and then the next thing you know, oh, it's tilting because there's blockage. It's blockage. It can't move off. It can't move off to the east. It gets blocking to the north. It's all about stopping this flow from our trough and allowing that southwesterly flow to be created instead of the westerly flow. Pulls it up the coast. $2 super chat from Ethan. That was probably a really bad way to explain it. I can explain it much better. Ethan, super chat, appreciate you. Where would you want to be for this one right now? Listen, I lived in Charlotte for a long time. I don't want to be in Charlotte because this is probably going to be their biggest snow they've had in like 6 years, but potentially. But like, where's Eastern Long Island? Could get clipped with this good Rhode Island and Boston. It's going to be a super, super close call. But, hey, this could still end up being a blizzard for Philly and New York City. This could still be a blizzard technically for D.C. and Baltimore. But we really need a big trend to the west if that's going to happen, you know? I'm not as confident in that. But, yeah, if I want it like just like beautiful heavy snow, I'd want to be in the Carolinas. But if I wanted to try and like actually chase a blizzard, yeah, we would definitely be right here. We'd definitely be right up there. Music to my Charlotte ears. Yeah, I think you could get some nice big flakes, some nice accumulation with this one. It's like a linebacker in football. Can't go through it, has to find another way to go. Exactly. That's a good way to put it. Your jet stream is trying to run up here, and it gets stalled, and now suddenly all this cold air that's just trying to run off the coast ends up getting stalled, and you have a frontal boundary, and the storm rides the frontal boundary. It has no choice. Cold air begins to push in farther behind this. Instead of the cold air pushing out east and to the northeast, cold air begins to sink faster back here, tilting the system because this cold air can't be pushed off into the northeast. And that tilt, that extra cold air behind this, tilting the system creates a southwesterly flow of energy and of wind, and it rides up the coast. It's all about our Greenland blocking up there to the northeast. It is all about our blocking. All right. What about Rayford, North Carolina? I don't really know where that is. Pretty good spot to be. You guys may end up seeing big snow from this. Pretty good spot to be. 0-0 GFS isn't out yet. Leanne, wait, what? Debs, you're less confident in the nor'easter. The recent runs went west. Yeah, there were some recent runs that went west, but we're still just off the coast. It's just, you can't be, if you're really praying for like a big jog west, doesn't even need to be that big, light to moderate jog west of all the models, you can't be confident because no one knows. Yes, it is possible. $2 super chat from Pro Daddy Gamer 8414. Yes, it is. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the super chat. It is definitely possible. I showed you guys what's happening with our Greenland ridging up there, our negative NAO, and it's trending in the right direction. If what we just saw from the last run to this run continues over the next two runs, we're going to have a nor'easter. Like I know what we need to happen to the north and east of us. I know what we need to happen. It's deceiving because it's a little bit deceiving because you're like, wait, but there's so much blocking right here. Why isn't that enough to stall it out? It's just the way it works. Specifically, when we get this Greenland block, specifically when we get this Greenland block, it really starts to push this down, right? It really starts to collapse this ridge farther and further down to the south. It really becomes amplified up here, and it really begins to collapse all of this high latitude blocking down to the south. So even though we have this big chunk of blocking up here, it's not enough. But in the last couple trends, we've seen the blocking grow up into Greenland. And this is going to weigh down. This is going to weigh down our ridge here. And that's going to attempt to push down on our trough from the back, tilting it quicker. So the trend is in the right direction to still see a big nor'easter, but we still need that trend to continue at least 2 to 3 more times through the model runs, which sometimes it does, you know. Let me look at something real quick. Yeah, the latest icon's loading. Okay. Anyways, let me get back in here. I want to answer questions. Listen, anyone in North Carolina could see decent snow with this. It's not like crazy what the Euro is showing right now. Here's the latest from the Euro totals for North Carolina. Do I think we're going to see 16 to 17 inches in central North Carolina? No. Do I think it's possible? Well, probably no. I think maybe if you get lucky, 14. Let's go to our 10 to 1. I think that's more realistic. Although it's going to be colder than 10 to 1. It's going to be 10 to 15. I'd say we could see totals out here. I'd say like on the high end, if you were to see this exact thing play out the way the Euro sees it currently, I think on the high end you could end up getting like 9 inches into Charlotte and then 11 or 12 inches into central North Carolina. And then, yeah, it's possible you get a few inches all around the surrounding area. Wait, the latest GFS does? What the heck? Oh, okay. Don't look at this, guys. Don't look at that. This shows a separate snowstorm later on. Let's take a look. Here's our snowstorm here. The GFS hasn't been fantastic, but at least it's been, you know, it's still. The GFS was great to start off the year. It hasn't been great in the last couple storms. But yeah, you see what's happening here. Models are seeing like clipper after clipper after clipper after clipper after clipper out in the east. Look at this. That's why you're seeing these crazy snow totals. But we're worried about this storm, so let's just go to like our 3-day snowfall inches. Yeah, I mean the GFS, Big Daddy snow here. But it actually looks very similar to the Euro right now, surprisingly. Somewhat. How much snow into Rhode Island? We don't know yet. Again, any little shift to the east, you get 0 inches of snow in Rhode Island. Any little jog to the west, you end up with a foot or more. Let's take a look at our Euro AI. Our Euro AI has done pretty good this winter. You can see it tries to put anywhere between 2 to 6 inches in a Rhode Island. This storm shifts 5 to 10 miles west. Rhode Island's buried. You know, you really just don't know at this point. But there's the Euro. There's the Euro AI. And then the Canadian did really good last storm too. And there's the Canadian. The Canadian showing good snow up and down the coast too. It's looking more and more like the beach is where to be with this storm, right? Because now we see it on the Canadian GFS and Euro. And of course, everyone shows the Carolinas. But this would be actually not too bad because the strongest winds, hurricane force winds, are going to be right off the coast if we do get a track like this. You'll get some good snow. You could potentially see heavier snowfalls better accumulation with this along the coast if you just get this strip right along the coast like this, because when you get blizzard conditions, you get all that blowing snow, you can have 12 inches of snowfall and it looks like there's 4 inches in your front yard, or sometimes like 2 if it's crazy wind and you just get snow drifts everywhere, where you have like a 3-foot snow drift, but you only have 2 inches in your front yard. So it wouldn't be the worst if you really wanted like good snow totals. This wouldn't be the worst scenario for the coast here, because you'd probably have your strongest winds right offshore. Still be pretty windy. Timing in central North Carolina. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. Well, right here, we start to see our low pressure beginning to form. Well, where are we? We're Friday night into Saturday morning. Around midnight, Friday going into Saturday morning. When could the heaviest snow be falling into North and South Carolina? Could start Saturday morning into Saturday afternoon. Heavy snowfall rates here. 1 inch an hour, maybe even a 2 inch an hour in some areas. You can see out here. Maybe 1 inch an hour out here. So, nice little weekend storm for you. My friend bought a sled in Charlotte for last weekend's winter storm. They got nothing. Well, she might actually get to use it this time. She probably will. Inland bust for this storm. Could be. Although, again, we see that negative NAO trend, Emmanuel, with the pretty much all our models. But it's the 12 to the 18Z. It's garbage hours. You know, we want the 00Z to show that trend. I don't really care too much about the 18Z. Yo, what's going on, Vet? Tufts. Rebirth. Melissa. Reggie. Roxanne. Lewis, what's going on? I appreciate you guys. I appreciate follows. Appreciate subs. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the support. Nancy, what's going on? Katie. Morgan, June, NTX, Maverick Gates, Cassandra. What's poppin'? What's cracking? Okay. Yo, we got snow in RTP coming. Someone translate that for me. What's RTP? New sub here. Hey, what's going on? I appreciate the sub. That's Raleigh. Research Triangle Park. Oh, I just call it the Research Triangle. I didn't know park was even in the name. Yeah, you do have some snow coming for you, likely. Pro Daddy Gamer with the $1 super chat. I appreciate you. Let me know if you have a question. All right, anyways, let's. I'm gonna do a speed round of questions. Okay, I'm gonna do a speed round of questions here. You guys know the rules. If you do not, are my donation? Oh, my donation thing wasn't turned on. Okay, now if someone subs, now something will pop up. That's why I wasn't seeing the super chats pop up, and it wasn't saying them either. Sorry, guys. Now it should say it. Now we should be good to go. If you ask me where a small if you ask me the totals for bumfrick Egypt, I'm not gonna know, and I'm gonna have to look it up, and that ruins the whole point of the speed round of me answering questions as quickly as I can. City Ruby, what's going on? I appreciate you. So, if it's a place, a small city, a county, I wouldn't know. Just tell me where it is geographically in the state. South Central, Southeast, East Central, Central, or just 20 miles north of D.C., 25 miles southwest of Philly. You know, give me something to work with here. And before we get started, let me see if I can get something up on the screen for you guys here. I don't think our Rufus is showing this yet. Nope, it won't be. It will not be. Let me see something here. What is this total snowfall? What is this craziness from the Canadian? One second, guys. Why is this so ugly? Why are the models on WeatherWise so ugly sometimes? Why? National Blend. National Blend, can you give me a good looking model run on here, please? Gosh, why is that so bad? That's not correct either. Like precipitation unit inches. 1 second, guys. The models on WeatherWise are just so bad. I know you guys can't see my screen. They can over on TikTok. All right, we'll keep it on temperatures for now. I'll switch that later. Actually, here's what I'll do. All right, so you guys can see what the latest national blend is showing over on TikTok on the top screen. We'll just go like this. That'll do. Cool. All right, we're gonna do speed round right now. Let's go. 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 Boom, 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 boom. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Snow to western Massachusetts. You're probably going to get snow from this. It could be flakes. It could be a good amount of snow. You want to be east in Massachusetts for this one. Connor, believe it or not, my street again was not plowed today in Maryland. Ooh, Duke, they hate you. That's messed up. That is messed up, Duke. Atlanta definitely could see snow from this. It's supposed to snow at Atlanta. Yes, I think you guys are going to end up getting back end snow. I mean, a trace to 2 inches is probably what's on the table for now. Could be more. A storm is brewing. It is. A storm is brewing. 158. Oh my gosh, 158 on YouTube. What's going on, guys? 400 on TikTok. I appreciate it. Any sub, any follow helps. Grow the channel, guys. If you're new here, I live stream every day and I try and post videos every single day too. If you want to join my Discord and look at all the models, everything I look at every single day, tons of weather enthusiasts. The link is in the description of all of my YouTube videos. My Discord, it's free, completely free to get in. Connor's Climate Corner HQ on Discord. Hop in there. You'll be able to look at all the updates that I talk about every single day on stream and that I post about in my videos every single day. Southeast, North Jersey. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. The closer to the coast you are, the better chance you have right now. Obviously, we're getting a little bit of model consensus that's really wanted to bring the snow literally up the beach and a little bit inland. Northern Maryland outlook. Again, how far east are you in Northern Maryland? By the way, we're going to be record-breaking temperatures up and down the East Coast here. Record-breaking temperatures up and down the East Coast here as we move through this week and into the weekend. So you got that to look forward to. Either someone is going to be buried in snow or not a flake. It's literally one of those things. That's correct. 30 minutes north of Raleigh. Pretty good place to be. Pretty good place to be if you want heavy snow. That's probably like the target right now on heaviest snowfall in the forecastable range, because this area has entered the forecasting range, right? 96 hours, 80 to 96 hours, we could have snow falling here. Good forecasting range. You want to be within 72, and then you get short ranges within 48, which get really good. But you start taking a storm seriously at 96 hours out, 4 days, and we still see the models agreeing. You're a little bit out tomorrow as we get into tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon. Technically, we're entering forecasting range here, and we better have an idea of what's going on. We better have an inkling. Northeast of Atlanta. That's a good place to be if you want snow with this system. It is. 30 minutes northeast of Baltimore. Again, northeast of Baltimore. I like that. I like that area. I like that area. It's going to be a close call for you, but the farther east you are, 30 minutes north of Charlotte. I really like pretty much all of North Carolina and most of South Carolina. So you see snow pretty. You got the Canadian, you got the European AI, and you've got the actual Euro all showing snow through pretty much the whole entire state of North Carolina, South Carolina, a little into Virginia. So it's a good model consensus there. We see the confidence on the national blend too. My confidence is on the national blend too in that region. Real nice. Real nice like. Delaware. Who? Oh, Delaware. Yeah, Delaware's looking pretty good. Close call again. But closer you are to the coast, Delaware could be. Listen, as I said earlier, if our negative NAO trend, this negative NAO trend with the ridge isn't just a off our 18Z fluke, and we see it continue with the 00Z and 06Z into tomorrow morning, say bye to your milk and bread in Delaware, as well as potentially Philly, New York City, Boston. That would shift this storm in probably 30 miles west if our negative NAO got a little bit more negative into tomorrow morning. I can't tell you if it's going to do that, but I know if it does, this bad boy, that southwesterly flow starts a little bit quicker. 40 minutes east of Philly. I like it. You probably see really good chance for you guys to see some snow here and maybe blizzard-like conditions with this system. Again, it's going to be a close call. It's going to be a close call for all of us up the coast, but where it's not going to be a close call, I don't think is the Carolinas. I think the Carolinas, Southern Virginia, Southeastern Maryland are the areas that are going to see something regardless. As we get north of that, it's a you get 20 inches or you get nothing type of scenario. That's what happens with nor'easters. I'm hoping as we get into tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, we can The best thing, honestly, would be a big shift east or a big shift west. I don't want to see a jog. I don't want to see a 2-mile west jog at the 00Z and a 2-mile west jog at the 06Z tonight. That's gonna just piss me off. I don't want to see that. I want to see a big lunge, and if our ridge really continues to amplify north towards Greenland, we could see a big lunge to the west. If it doesn't, we're gonna see a big lunge to the east. Or could. Shelma, I appreciate you. 30 minutes north of D.C., not a bad place to be. There's going to be a possibility here for you. But again, you want that Greenland Ridge to grow. Lexington, South Carolina. Anywhere in South Carolina looks good right now. I can't guarantee you snow. But nice looks. Nice looks here. When you have a moderate to good snow signal here within 96 hours, you should be pretty happy. 30 minutes south of Charlotte. Yeah, perfectly fine. You guys, we can see you right there on the Euro in the snow. We can see you right there on the latest Canadian in the snow. The Canadian did the best with our last storm. You can see it right here. European AI. If we go into winter, European AI has done the best this winter. Notice this has been, and I've been telling you guys this for multiple days, this has been the area I've been confident in for quite a while. But when you have something like this, and if it jogs 20 miles to the west, it buries everyone in snow. And if it jogs 20 miles to the east, it gives no one snow. I don't care what meteorologist you follow, and there's some great meteorologists out there that I follow. They don't. It's impossible to tell right now. I mean, Jim Cantori made a post today. Jim Cantori is my all-time favorite meteorologist because I went through the eye of 3 hurricanes: Wilma, Jean, and Francis in a span of 2 years, 3 years, 2004, 2007, and he was covering all them, and that's what made me love weather. Even he was like, you're either getting he made an X post something saying like you're either getting slammed or you're having martinis on the beach in Atlantic City. Like, no, you're not, because you're going to be in record cold temperatures, but you know what I mean. Sunny skies or blizzard conditions Saturday into Sunday. Put in your bets now. I'm not as concerned, as I've said, not as concerned with the Carolinas, southeastern Virginia, southeastern Maryland, maybe even portions of eastern Georgia. All right, let me continue to answer questions here. Virginia Beach, I like Virginia Beach. Yeah, Cantori is the GOAT. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Richmond, Virginia. It's going to be a close call. You're going to want this thing to trend. You could see snow regardless. I mean, you see what the Canadian Euro both do. They still try to give, as it runs off the coast, if it runs off the coast, they still try to give central to eastern Virginia snow, but you'd want this thing to tilt a little bit more. Rain in east tonight, right? I'm not seeing much rain out there. Look what this thing tries to do on the Euro, too. Put a little snow, a little bit of dusting of snow out there through Kentucky. Portions of West Virginia and Virginia as it begins to form here. Sadie. Golden Buzzer Lake. Holy crap. $10 super chat. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Harry. Chances for Central Maryland. Chances you see snow in Central Maryland? I want to say 60 plus 60%. Over a 50% chance you see snow in Central Maryland. I think as the low begins to deepen, we're going to get some moisture and we're going to get some flakes flying across Virginia. I don't know about like 2-3 plus inches into Central Virginia. It could be even more than that, but I know like on the latest Euro here, we see snow in Central Virginia here for a good amount of time. The thing is, we're pulling more. You have to remember where this moisture is coming from. It's coming from the Gulf. It's coming from the Western Atlantic. I think the Euro might be overdoing how far north this moisture gets. I think we might have a tighter pocket of snow in here like this that actually tries to miss Central Virginia. But that being said, Euro's a good model. the Canadian has done good, not just last storm, but the one before it did okay as well. And they see that decently heavy snow into central. Try to put decent or moderate snow into central Virginia. So not a bad outlook. And again, if we do see our trend continue up there with our Greenland Ridge, yeah, ride 'em, cowboy. I missed it. Crap. Thanks, Lake. I appreciate you. Usually 84513. Appreciate you. If we do see that ridge continue to build in the Greenland, then central Virginia suddenly looks perfectly fine. You're getting good snow. Is the GFS accurate right now? It's shown similar things to the Canadian and Euro AI, which is a good sign for the GFS. Yeah. Yeah, we got Cantori Jr. in here too. My friend runs a subpar Asian restaurant. He wants to know if he should close for Raleigh this weekend. Don't tell him. There's nothing I love more when I wake up hungover, which of course I never do because I have kids and I'm very responsible. But there's nothing I love more when I wake up slightly hungover, which I never do. Yeah, ride 'em, cowboy. Appreciate that, Lake. Than going to a subpar Asian restaurant. Subpar Asian food, that just hits different on those mornings. It really does. But again, I actually am a saint, and I refrain from consuming alcoholic beverages. And I just wouldn't do that. It's just not me. When's the next model run? We're getting to GFS in pretty soon. When's the GFS going to come out? When's the GFS going to come out? Oh! GFS is loading. Holy smokes. We're already at 57 hours. Okay, let me go to Pivotal and see if it's ahead. Nope. Weatherwise is beating it this time. Okay. Or sorry, Weatherbell. Here we go. The GFS is loading. The GFS is loading. Shelma, I appreciate you. We all remember the Miami joke, Connor. Hey. Joke. Asking for a friend, what's the name of this subpar restaurant? You're right. Salisbury, Maryland. How much snow do you think? I'm not going to try to tell you how much snow Maryland's going to get because you could get a foot of snow. You could get nothing. The model disagreement starts right here as we get to Maryland. Some models go, whoop, see ya, no snow. And some go, whoop, massive once-in-a-decade blizzard. And it's really split. It's really split across the models. What most of them show is right along the coast, you get heavy snow. But, again, this is what we're paying attention to. My favorite meteorologist, right? My favorite meteorologist that I love watching. They're saying the same. Everyone's saying the same thing, guys. You really don't want to hype anyone up in Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, Eastern PA, Hudson Valley, Long Island, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. No, you don't want to, Maine. You don't want to hype anyone up yet up there just because it's going to be such a close call. Tomorrow is the day, I think. Tomorrow's the day I hype someone up. But if I'm gonna tell you guys what I think's gonna happen tomorrow morning, and we still have a little bit of model disagreement, if it doesn't happen, you're not holding me accountable. Okay? I'm deleting the VOD if it doesn't happen. Okay? I will tell you. Here it is. I will tell you in my video when you wake up and you see my video posted at 7:30 in the morning. It will be just like it was this morning. I'll tell you what I think's gonna happen. I'll try to give you a little bit of snow projections. But if I'm wrong, the video's getting deleted, and you saw nothing. No, I won't actually delete the video, but everyone in chat, understand Connor is telling us 4 feet of snow. Shush, Christian. Hype up Charlotte. I tend to hype up Charlotte because Charlotte, of everywhere I've lived. I've lived in South Florida, Central Florida. Went to school in Florida State, Tallahassee. Love Florida State. Tallahassee ain't the best. Lived out in L.A. I lived in Charlotte. I lived in Philadelphia. I live in Minneapolis now. Of all the places I've ever lived, Charlotte is easily my favorite, and it's not even close. The cleanest, the most affordable, free transportation everywhere, very modern, lots of fun stuff to do, close to the mountains. Not close enough to the beach for me, but lakes galore. I love me some Charlotte. I love me some Charlotte. I love it. All the places I lived, Charlotte easily made the best impression on me. Yeah, but Philly is better. It depends. If I was younger when I lived in Philly, I probably would have liked more. I had a kid when I moved to Philly. I didn't really get to experience Philly, you know what I mean? What would winds look like in New England if it were to go west? 75-plus mile-per-hour gusts. Hurricane force gusts if we saw this thing jog west. We're seeing the possibility of a 960 millibar low if this thing jogs west. Maybe even lower. I don't know about that, but we're seeing it a deep, deep low if this thing jogs west. What is the GFS doing? The GFS is trending west. How do I know? Just trust me. Just trust me. You all saw it. You all saw it. I'm not going to do it again. The GFS is trending west. On the good model, the 00Z, the GFS is trending west. You all saw it. You all saw it when I just did that. You all saw it. Let's do it again. Let's do it again together. Everyone, put your good eyeballs in. Put your good eyeballs in. Here we go. Holy smokes. All right, here's the 18Z. Oh, here is the 00Z. Is it trending west or is it slowing down? I think both. Charlotte deserves snow. Charlotte does deserve snow. I don't think you guys realize if you looked at the snow map from 2025. Let me show you this, guys. You need to see this. 2025 snowfall. Wait, that's not how I should put it. Total snowfall U.S. map. I don't know. I definitely could have framed that a little bit better. Here we go. 2024, 2025 season accumulation. I want you guys to look at something, okay? For everyone who's like, oh, I never get snow. No, you know who never gets snow? Charlotte never gets snow, okay? And I'm going to show you why. Charlotte never gets snow. Hold up. I'm going to show you why. Do you guys see the East Coast here? I want you to notice something. It was upstate South Carolina too. Look at this. Dusting. Look at this hole. Who lives right here? Who lives right there? Who lives right there? Anyone in chat? You got screwed last year. You had a big storm go just to your north. And 2 weeks later, I remember this. This was in January. 2 weeks later, this storm went just to your south. I remember this. They were 2 weeks apart. And one went like that, and one went like that. And Charlotte saw flakes. I remember that. And I hyped my family and friends in Charlotte up, and they were disappointed in me. And I said, what the heck? Why? Why is the universe doing this to Charlotte? Not this year. It ends. It ends this year. All right, let's look at the latest GFS. It's loading. There she is. I feel like the GFS is a man and the Euro is a woman. Because the Euro is right way more of the time. You know what I mean? All right. There we go. That's the 18Z of the GFS. That's the Euro. Or sorry, 18Z of the GFS. 00Z of the GFS. 18Z of the GFS. 00Z of the GFS. Slight west. Slight west. There it is. This on the GFS, this might run right up the coast. Facts. That's a west shift. What's extreme northeast Montana looking like snow-wise? Let's take a look while this is loading in. I'm gonna look at my other screen here real quick. Let's go. United States. National blend over the next. How many days are in January? 31? I should probably know that. Over the next 10 to 12 days, yeah, we're not seeing too much big snow up there into eastern Montana. I'm not surprised. We're cold. Well, we're gonna warm up a little bit. Let's look at our temperature anomalies here moving forward. Cold, 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 cold. Very cold for Eastern Montana. But as we get into this Sunday, Monday, warm air returns. Or sorry, not warm air. It's not going to be warm. Montana, it's not going to be warm. It's going to be freezing. But warmer temperature anomalies return, and that's when you're going to get the chance for a Bear Clinic boundary to set up somewhere. A little bit of warm, cold air push. So let's watch next week. Let's watch next Tuesday to Thursday into Montana. Northeastern Montana. That's what I'm going to say for some sort of significant snow. Okay. Give me 1 second. GFS is loading. We're going to take a look. Big things are happening. Big things are happening. Okay. Here we go. Let's reload it. What are we seeing here? Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Holy smokes, guys. I want to say a different word, but this is a family-friendly stream. So smokes is the second word I'm saying. Let's look back to the 18Z. Remember when I said you want a big jog west? And I don't know if it's going to happen, but if that Greenland Ridge trend wasn't just a fluke and it continued to grow up into Greenland, and you'd feel that ridge collapse, I would say this is a pretty significant jump. We're seeing that's all you need. This is going to be fun to watch this load. If I didn't see anything with the GFS or the Canadian, I was going to say I'm not staying up till the Euro again. I think you guys all know what I have to do again tonight. Is there going to be any snow accumulation in Michigan or just exploding trees? Well, I will tell you this. These lakes up here, don't expect too much more lake effect snow this winter after what's about to take place here, continuing with this well below average air over the next 7 to 10 days. These lakes are frozen, especially a bad boy down here. We are frozen. Cleveland, Erie, Buffalo, your lake effect spout might have just been turned off. There's no lake effect snow if there's no water to take it off of. You guys might be able to drive your cars over the lake. Actually, don't try that. I didn't say that. Percentage Philly. Well, your percentage is going to go up because the GFS just decided to jump far to the west. Let's see what's happening up there at the 500 millibar height. I'd still say 40, 60, 40, you don't see much in Philly, 60 you don't see much in Philly, 40% chance you do. I'm still leaning in the air of caution that this just stays offshore. And again, if you're right along the coast here, even if you're really DC, Baltimore, into Philly, New York City, Boston, and then you're out there, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Long Island, Jersey, obviously, Delaware. Yeah, Virginia Beach, I think, is going to see something regardless. I'm pretty confident. South Carolina, North Carolina. But we still need to see a jump west from our other models again, probably for more than one run. We probably want to see it into the 06Z and into the 12Z tomorrow. But quite a nice jump. This, I can already tell you, as this progresses, is going to this is probably going to show a nor'easter right here on the latest GFS. And guess what? Look at the hour we're at. This would be considered forecasting range for most. 96 hours. That's 4 day. 4 day. So, will North Carolina have any wind? It's going to get windy in North Carolina. You can see as the low begins to deepen, you see how close these isobars become? Very close. You're going to get wind in North Carolina. I think if we were to get blizzard warnings, if the other models, which we're going to watch, did in fact all trend farther west, your blizzard conditions would probably start somewhere up towards Delaware, maybe even Maryland and up the coast. Again, though, if it's me, I've been in Minnesota. Minneapolis has a decently heavy snowstorm this year and a blizzard. The blizzard dropped more snow, and it looked like a way worse snowstorm. Blizzards stink if you're looking for like snow accumulation. They blow it all into a corner. Sometimes, if you have windy enough conditions through a whole blizzard, it could look like you got a dusting in your front yard, and then you look down the street and there's a 3 feet, 5 feet of snow in the corner. You don't want a blizzard if you want like nice snow accumulation, unless you want to experience a blizzard, which, But I mean, that's not always the fact. If you get under 2 inch an hour of snow, you're gonna get a ton of snow on the ground with the blizzard. Still, I'm just saying, like this type of snow that's inland, where we're not seeing as much wind, would probably accumulate higher than right along the coast. I do not recommend blizzard. They're not as I like heavy snowstorms. I don't like I love winter storms and snowstorms. Blizzards aren't as fun. They're fun to experience, but Euro better not disappoint again. We'll see. All right, let's see how this is continuing to load in. Oh my gosh, guys. Are we getting someone what else are we getting loading in here? The latest Canadian's loading in. That's big. The Canadian did really good last and the latest GraphCast is loading in. That's big. 2 good AI models loading in. The Canadian did the best last storm. Okay, we have all these loading in. This is good. We'll see how this progresses, guys. So what do you think about the La Nina ending early and finally getting snow for Colorado? I don't think the La Nina is ending early. The La Nina was always supposed to end around when it's still expected to end around. Let's take a look. Analysis tools. Yeah, I know people were saying that the La Nina was going to end in February. That's not even possible. You have to sit between negative 5 degrees below Celsius to negative 1 degree below, or negative 0.5 degrees Celsius to negative 1 degree below Celsius along the equatorial Pacific for 3 months to transition in between phases. We're in a weak La Nina right now. Okay. Yeah, we haven't even touched Enzo neutral. I mean, the earliest we probably get into neutral is May, late April. Yeah, but I do expect next winter to be an El Nino. I do expect next winter to be an El Nino. Now, we could have Enzo neutral condition, like Enzo neutral water temperatures in a few weeks. We're not going to be in an Enzo neutral, though. It's doing exactly what it was supposed to do, okay? Doing exactly what it was supposed to do. But yeah, we're probably going to be in an Enzo neutral for tornado season. And anyone want to fill in chat what an Enzo neutral tornado season looks like? It's typically our most active tornado season. That's what last year was, last spring. And then we're going to probably transition into an El Nino hurricane season. El Nino hurricane seasons tend to not be as active as La Nina hurricane seasons, which is good. And we might be in an El Nino winter. El Nino winters are snowier for the south. Nick with the $2 super chat. Hope we get more south of DC. Hate this ice, though. This wouldn't probably put the way we're this would have to jog so far west to put ice into DC. I don't see the chance yet for ice into Charlotte or DC or Baltimore or anywhere up the coast, especially if we get this. Wow, look at this. This is a blizzard into the coast here. Holy crap. The latest GFS is holy smokes. Holy smokes, chat. Why are we typing in all caps? Why? An El Nino would be nicer to the central to southern Rockies next winter, yes. Yeah. In my winter outlook, I said average to milder conditions across the west, which obviously we're seeing. Seem pretty mild. I would not put that in an El Nino winter. Well, not necessarily. Because I did also put mild and dry in the Pacific Northwest, and everyone called me crazy this year because La Ninas can be very, very wet up there and cold. But there were some other things going on with like the WPO and stuff that led me to believe that we were going to be drier and warmer up there in the Pacific Northwest. How's trends looking for New Jersey? Fantastic. This is a fantastic trend for New Jersey for bigger snow. This is big. 975 millibar low running up the coast. This would be hurricane force winds, wind gusts, not sustained, potentially slamming into the Jersey coast here, maybe even Maryland, maybe even Virginia, maybe even portions of eastern North Carolina. Or I mean, this is one deterministic operational run, but you have to remember we're getting closer here. So let's see what the other runs do. We have the GraphCast loading and the Canadian loading right now as well, guys. Here's the latest from the GraphCast. This is an important one. Actually, I don't think I can see on this one. Okay, let's take a look at the GraphCast on here. Okay. Let's take a look. What did the GraphCast do? Not much of a change from the GraphCast at all. Let's take a look here. 00Z, 18Z. If anything, the GraphCast shifted slightly to the east. Still puts a big snowstorm down, or heavy snow down through portions of eastern Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and then tries to get this big snowstorm up the coast still in the GraphCast, but not much of a change from the GraphCast. We'll see what the Canadian does. The Canadian's loading in here. We'll let that bad boy load in. Look at that, 971 millibar low. I'm just going to jump ahead. Don't pay attention too much to the snow totals here. Yeah. Okay, everyone, find the largest grain of salt that you've ever seen in your entire life and take it. Take it right now before I show you this. Here's what the latest GFS thinks. Things I shouldn't be doing is showing you guys the GFS around 100 hours out. Kuchera snow totals. Don't expect these totals. I'm just going to show you clearly there's been a trend up with snow. Do I think the border of North Carolina and Virginia is going to see 35 inches of snow? Absolutely not. DC, 13 inches, 14 inches of snow. Probably not. But anyways, there's the trend. Here's the last run of the GFS, which was crazy as well. But that's what you're seeing. Let's take a look at what its 10-to-1 ratio shows. Still think this is high, but it's doable. It's a little more it's not completely out there. But you can see the trend west. Watch the snow up to the north. Watch the snow line. This is the 18Z. And this is the 0Z. There's your trend to the north and to the west. To the north and to the west. There it is. 18Z. Here's the new run. Another tick. So let's take a look at what's happening with our upper air heights. 500 millibar height anomaly. Let's go North America. So what's happening? What's the difference? 12Z, 18Z, 0Z. You get that. You get a little bit higher heights up here over Greenland. Let's watch. Little bit more amplified. All we need is a little bit more amplified. Yep. See how the blocking shifts west? Here's the 18Z. Here's our blocking over Greenland. Our ridge is a little bit farther out to the east. You've got a little bit of a low up here. And we move into our 12Z. Our 00Z. Watch this ridge up here shift west. Slightly amplify. Watch it shift west and slightly amplify. This is going to weigh down our ridge to the south. Here you go. It's going to help with our high latitude blocking up there. Boom. Shift. There it is. We're trying to move the storm 10 miles, 20 miles to the west. That's all you need. Anyways, that's the latest from the GFS. Like I said, I'll show you the snow totals one more time in the latest GFS. I wouldn't take these too seriously. And I am going to show actually the Kuchera. I shouldn't. I just think it's going to be cold enough that we're going to have above a 10-to-1 ratio for most of us here, especially this time of year. So let me just do this. But take these snow totals, I think, are too aggressive. Not that they couldn't happen. I mean, we've seen historic snowstorms that did stuff like this, but I would, be careful about believing anything you see here. You can see Long Island gets kind of buried here. Boston gets buried. Eastern Mass, Rhode Island, and New York City is right on the cusp there, right? Of like 2 to 4 inches, or you're suddenly in like 9 to 12, and then you see it's close out here. It's close out here for everyone. Baltimore, D.C. I take this with a huge grain of salt. I don't expect to see this monstrous of snow. But that's the latest GFS. It's going to affect how our national blend looks loading. So let's take a look at the latest national blend. I think it's not going to be updated yet, but North Carolina player got muted. Wait, what? What's happening over there? I heard 35 inches and sticking with it. Yeah, okay, peanut butter. Need a little more west for Hagerstown. It's possible. 1 foot for Charlotte. Got it. Thanks, Connor. You guys are so mean. Shut up. That's not what I said. J. Gill. NQ. That's what we're going to call it. I appreciate you guys. Bo, what's going on? Enquire. That's what I'm going to say. Jack AB. $2 super chat from Nicholas. You know what, Nick? You know what? Lock it in. All right. Samuel, I appreciate the sub. Appreciate the sub. Baltimore, hey, nice trend for Baltimore. I'm not, but again, you're still right on the boundary. You could get 0 inches, you could get a foot. This storm, especially when you have a deepening low, what we call a bombo cyclone, it's going to be heavy snow close to the center of that low pressure system, meaning if you're just a mile or 2 miles out too far, we're not going to have this flurry of snow that's all pushing out to the north and west. It's going to be tight to the circulation. And you can see that when we take a look at the GFS. When you get a bomb cyclone and you get a deep circulation, that snow is going to begin to hug as close as it can to that low, right? Remember what happened with our last system? We had snow like this, right? We had snow like this wide. You take a look at the possibility of this system. You take a look at this storm where your snow, it's cut in half. I think the GFS is actually being too aggressive. I think it would be even a tighter snow boundary here. So, $5 super chat from Ethan. Tell me that North Carolina isn't going to be a foot deep one more time. I'm too suspicious. I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious. Name that show. Listen, someone in North Carolina is going to get big snow, I think. Big numbers, and a lot of you, I think, are going to get snow regardless. But the Canadian is 90 hours loaded on Pivotal Weather. Nice. Let's see what we got on Weather Bell. Are we beating it? Nope. GFS loaded quicker on Weather Bell. Not the Canadian. Let's take a look here. Woo woo. I need like a button I can press. I need to get one of those things where I can press buttons that make sounds. Soundboard. I need something to be like breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, right? All right, let's take a look at the Canadian on here. The Canadian did really good last storm, guys. That to me looks like an Eastern shift. Why? Don't please tell me these models aren't. Well, maybe not. The Canadian does start with the low pressure really far off the coast. Okay, that's 96. Let's get to 108. 108. Does that not look like an Eastern shift from the Canadian? Or am I tripping? 102. There are some serious clipper systems running through the Ohio Valley and Midwest. So next Wednesday and Thursday, that's you're asking a little bit far out here, but yeah, the Canadian brings this system a little too far to the north. Yeah, there's a possibility. What's the Euro see around that time frame? What's the Euro see around that time frame? No, the Euro does put snow through there. The Canadian has this more ridged off. The Euro has this cold air more collapsed. Interesting. It's compared to the GFS. The GFS looks to be more similar to the Canadian, bringing that snowstorm to the north. So it's going to be a close call. You got the Canadian GFS bringing that snow north. You got the Euro bringing it south. It's going to be a close call for southern Indiana middle of next week. All right, anyways, let's see what the Canadian's doing. The latest. What are we at? 108 hours. 965 millibar low. You get snow into Charlotte. You get snow into the Carolinas. You get snow out towards Virginia Beach, maybe. If we all suck in air really hard from the at the same time from the east, we can pull the storm towards us. Never say never. I'll go live when the storm's off the coast, if it is off the coast, and all at the same time, we're just going to go. That's right. That's right. It works. The same way as if you don't like cold air, just go outside and shoot at the cold air. It'll run away. $5 super chat. Man with two eyes. I appreciate you. Wow. You have two eyes? That is crazy. Use a magnet. Yeah, hey, you know, use a magnet, maybe. The Canadian. Where are you putting our storm? Where are you putting our storm, Canadian? You see, this is what I'm talking about, chat. Why can't we ever just have... Last night I got excited. The first 4 models we saw shifted west, and then the last 2 important ones shifted east. Now we get into tonight. I'm getting excited. Big jump from the GFS west. We see the Greenland blocking setting up, and I say, that's a sign. Models to follow. Absolutely not. GFS goes west. Canadian goes east. And guess what? They're using the same data, whatever you want to call it. Very similar data. Come on. Actually, they're probably not because we're using weather balloon data, but I think we lend Canada some of our weather balloon data. Oh my gosh, like why? It's such a joke. First model is going to go like this. Second model is going to go like this. Third model is going to go like this. Fourth model is going to go like this. Fifth model is going to go like this. Sixth model is going to go like this. And then you guys are going to say, Connor, you better give me a good snow forecast tomorrow morning. Listen, all I know is last Friday I said we were going to get a snowstorm in the southeast. I just didn't know if it'd run off the coast or not. So at least I was right about that. Right in the long range, right? There's the Red Bull. Yeah. This is so frustrating. Especially if this thing does run off the coast. All this just waiting around for the Euro to be late. That shit better be perfect. Oh, shoot. I'm going to try my best. That's all that matters. 204 people on YouTube. I appreciate you guys. Hey, we're on the road to 10K on YouTube. It's been doing really amazing. If everyone on YouTube subbed right now, I'd actually probably get like 80 new subs because I think like maybe 120 might already be subbed. If it's your first time in here, guys, I try and stream every day. I try and post every day. And if you're wondering where the heck can I look at all of these weather models, where can I go and get all of this information? Well, luckily for you, I spent way too much of my life creating an awesome weather Discord that I spend also an hour to 2 hours updating every single day with all the latest information. And it's completely free. The link to my Discord is in the description of any single one of my YouTube videos on my page. Not the shorts, not the lives. Any one of my YouTube videos, click on the description. You can join. The Discord link's in there. Or you can just add me on Discord, Connor's Climate Corner HQ. 24-hour to 48-hour National Weather Service, snowfall, National Blended Models, snowfall, HRRR snowfall maps every morning, 72-hour expected to high-end snow and total ice. It's looking like a pretty good spot right now, Santino. I appreciate the $2 super chat. Oh my gosh, you were always in here. You were seriously, I appreciate you. Yeah, I'll talk about that in a second. Temperatures. We got our temperature anomalies moving forward. We've got our outlook moving forward. We've got our daily moving forward. National Weather Service alerts, severe weather, tornadoes, high winds. Again, wildfires, earthquakes, droughts, volcanoes, earthquakes, whatever. I said those both twice. Drought monitors. And anytime there is a tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning, flood warning, it's instantly in here. You can ask the AI, is the tornado going to hit me? It's probably going to try to give you a pretty good answer. It's linked to the National Weather Service, SPC, NHC, space weather updates. It's all in there. Join. It's completely free. I just want people to use it because I spent forever making it. We got a big weather community in there. And you can also look at people's dogs. That's probably the most important part of this. Stay updated. Weather memes is pretty important. But you can also look at people's dogs. Some people's cats. Look. Even some people's parrots. Wow. Parrots, like, get me out of here. This does not look like Miami. All right, let's continue to watch as these runs update. What's the latest? Yeah, right now, listen, a huge shift to the west for Central Jersey. So Central Jersey is on the line of you get nothing or you get 16 inches in a blizzard from this storm. So still not a bad place to be. It's a pretty big gamble for Central Jersey right now, Santino. I appreciate you. $2 super chat from Pro Daddy Gamer. With the new run, Long Island still up for a storm. Yes, very much so. Even with the new, yes, very much so. Yeah, very much so. I also don't think, and oh, let me go back here. I also don't think with the 951 millibar low, basically a Category 3 snowicane off the coast here. Let me switch you guys over. Why is this? I also don't think with a Cat 3 snowicane off the coast, our snow would be actually wrapped in this tightly. We'd probably be pulling a little bit more moisture into the coast. So that's the latest from the Canadian. We've all seen what the GFS does. Big shift to the west. Putting maybe significant snow into Central Jersey. We'll have to wait and see. Whew. Heavy snow. Sorry if I whistled too loud. European, 40 minutes away from loading here. Something like that. My math's probably a little bit off. Abe. I appreciate the sub. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. I really do. Per Daddy Gamer. I appreciate the $2 super chat. 951 is crazy. If it moved west, that would be like a lot. I think so, Fade. Central Mass, how much? I cannot tell you how much you're going to get in Central Mass. I've told you. Wait until my report tomorrow on snow totals. Wait until my report tomorrow. But again, I'm gonna wait. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, in my video, at the end of my video, I'm gonna tell you guys my preliminary snow forecast. My preliminary snowfall forecast for this area. Okay? Even though I shouldn't. Even though it's a little too early with the disagreement in the models. You guys are peer pressuring me. And I'm weak. Maryland getting snow. Somewhere, I'd say southeastern Maryland has a really good chance to get snow. It's how far west does it get into Maryland? Does it get very far west? Or does it just stay near the coast? Do I expect a good bit in coastal South Carolina? Upstate, I'm liking, but it's going to be a gamble. Could even get a little sleet ice mix along the coast in South Carolina. Let's take a look at what the latest Canadian does there, too. It could be a good day for coastal South Carolina. You haven't had a look this good all winter long. So, and I do think if we do get some warm air loft, it is more likely to be up in North Carolina with the way, this low pressure is going to be pulling in this warm Gulf and Atlantic air counterclockwise up and above South Carolina. So we'll see. It's going to be a close call. But right now, even taking a look at the national blend, let's look what the national blend puts down. Oh, we're getting an update on the national blend. Nice. But let's look at what the national blend puts down. Coastal South Carolina gives you the opportunity for 1 to 3 inches right now with all the models blended. I've talked about Philly. We're gonna wait. My video that comes out tomorrow at 7:30 in the morning, I'll tell you how much snow I think Philly's gonna get. But and it's still going to be too early for that. Guys, this is I don't care who you ask. If they know what they're talking about, this is an impossible storm to forecast right now. Because, again, it's going to be a tight – if we do get a bomb cyclone, which it's looking like we might, it's going to be a pretty tight snow line, and you end up with 0 inches along the coast if it's too far out, or you end up with a foot along the coast or more, a foot plus if it jogs a little farther west. Philly, -8 inches now. -8. I like Charlotte. I think Charlotte gets snow regardless. North Carolina's counting on you, I know. Give me your opinion on Taco, Georgia for Saturday. Planning a birthday party outside. Yeah, let's look at it's. I think it's Toccoa, Georgia, but Taco, Georgia. Is it Toccoa? Northeastern Georgia. I'd be surprised if you guys didn't get a little bit of snow, dusting to 2 inches. At least a dusting, I'd expect. I don't think you're gonna see. You're gonna be close to record cold temperatures and maybe some flakes in the air. You might want your Toccoa. You might want your party to be inside. Nick, welcome to the Climate Crew. I appreciate it. Just GFS ensembles shifted west as well. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. We haven't looked at the panels this whole time, guys. Are we going to look at the panels? We have not looked at the panels yet. Maybe we should. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Already been on for almost an hour and a half. One of my videos, guys, on TikTok, like now people are seeing videos again. My videos go like this: 28,000, 15,000, 0 views, 12,000, 6,000. I wonder if I should just private the one with 0 views. Like, no one. It just is invisible. I guess it's because the day I posted it, everything was broken, so it's just invisible. But my other videos that were invisible, people started to see. Very weird. Anyways, that's not what I was looking up. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. 1 second. All right. Almost done. Okay. All right. Man's got to work in the cold tomorrow. Man, I need to sleep. But this Euro, though, I feel you. Samesies. Still have a foot high snow mounds. Oh, 7-foot high snow mounds in central North Carolina. And there's more coming. But you foot high snow mounds in central North Carolina? Really? TikTok has been so glitchy since the transition. Yeah. Oh, yeah, panels. Okay, I know. Brandon, I appreciate the sub. Yo, we're going to hit 10K on YouTube in no freaking time. And I'm going to throw a big 10K. Hey, I don't think my wife would like this. I was going to say, should I do a 24-hour stream if I hit 10K? I got a 3 and a 1-year-old. I don't think she'd like that. Maybe I can convince her to let me do a 12-hour stream. I'll go for 12 hours. I'll go for a 12-hour stream. Yes, Philly, -9 inches. Let's look at the panels. Or else I'm going to keep getting harassed. And I do like the panels anyways. Let's look at the panels. Okay. Well, we'll look at since we have the newest GFS, we'll look at the GFS panels. Oh, but they're not going to be completely out yet. Caitlin Welch, what's going on? We can look at the old Euro panels. Let's look at the GFS ensemble. Let's see. Where is, give me 1 second, Surface Winter. How far is this loaded out yet? Will our panels see anything exciting yet? We're going to wait a little bit for that. Okay, we'll look at the European ensemble panels first. So, instead of just looking at our operational control run, let's look at all the possibilities. These are all technically the possibilities that these models see occurring. I either A, sleep and be tired for my college class, or B, wait because I'm intrigued for this year's Heroes of Europe. Yeah. Ronald, I appreciate the sub. Holy crap, you guys are awesome. Okay, anyways, South Carolina, North Carolina snow right up the coast there. This looks like a nor'easter to me. Big snow into the Carolinas, a little bit of a miss. Big nor'easter to me. Snow into the Carolinas, big miss up to the northeast. That looks like a nor'easter. Little snow into the Carolinas, that's a miss. All right, let's just listen. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see one panel that doesn't put snow into the Carolinas, so I'm not going to highlight the ones that put snow into the Carolinas. They all do. They just all do. Let's highlight the ones that see a big nor'easter on the Euro. Ready? That's definitely nor'easter potential. Nor'easter. I would say this one because Long Island and Boston get smashed here. I would say this one. I like it. Oh, that's really close. Yeah, if Long Island and Boston and Rhode Island and Eastern Connecticut get smashed, we're calling it. There you go. There you go. It's a big one through Philly there. There we go. Ooh, this is a really close call on this one. What do I do? I'll say no. But some of these are just big snow literally right along the coast. All right, so not too bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's take a look at these. Any crazy ones here? 13. 14. 15. 16. Ooh, that's close. 17. 18. 19. Someone who's going to hear is like, why is he counting? So we just got in my live. 20. This is a big one down here. 22. All right, look at that. We're getting close to half the models on the Euros. See this actually a little bit farther shifted west. It's like a 50, 55, 45, 60, 40 split. Dang it, just subscribed. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh, the subs. I appreciate you guys. And it really helps because, again, I don't know what's going on with TikTok. So, you know, I'm going to continue to post on TikTok, continue to live stream on TikTok. But it's a little bit, they're not very creator friendly already, but with what's going on now, it's a little crazy. Wait. Hamilton with the Air Dancer. Appreciate that. KG, what's going on? Melissa, Jasper. Peach Love, Sonic. Nay, KG, Beg. Nemanian. I'm probably saying that wrong. I don't know how to pronounce that. Alabama's not going to get snow this year. Well, it's Alabama, so their odds aren't too high any year. But I don't know. Did Northern Alabama not get a dusting with this last system? Probably dusting a sleet and ice. No, there's still a chance for you guys. You still got a little bit of a chance out there. A little bit of a chance out there for Alabama. Down the road. February looks cold. If you guys have been watching my videos, I've been talking about it. I'm not going to go through it on stream right now, but if you watch my videos and I talk about what the February outlook looks like, holy smokes, it looked cold. MJO, a little bit of a cold signal, but the Arctic Oscillation, negative NAOs, positive PNA ridge, holding through the models going into February. We might just continue. We might just continue with cold, guys. Plains and out east, but especially out east moving forward here. How high of the chance of blizzard? How high is the chance of blizzard in New Jersey? I'd give you like a 30 to 40% chance at this point. $2 super chat from Santino. It doesn't need to shift 100 miles west for central New Jersey. It needs to shift like 20 to get smacked. Could it shift 100 miles west? Technically, yeah. It's basically what the Euro did with the last system we saw. It shifted like 100 miles north right at the end. We thinking this is going to hit Rhode Island? I think it might, yeah. Sonic Blue 245, I appreciate you. Do we know the winds in central South Carolina for this storm? We can take a look at what the latest Euro shows us. We still need a little bit of time for this, but we can take a look at some of the wind gusts here. Let's take a look as this system moves through central North Carolina. Oh, getting up there in the 20s. Getting up there in the 30s. Mid-30s. I think you'd actually have bigger gusts than this, but they have you gusting between 30, 35. You can see where some of the gustiest conditions get. You get hurricane force gusts, 74, 75 mile per hour gust out here. On our islands off the North Carolina coast. OBX region up there through southeastern Maryland, Delaware, you're getting potentially 50, 60 plus. Right now we're getting 50 mile per hour gusts along New Jersey. This is the latest Euro. And then you're getting 50 mile per hour wind gusts potentially into Long Island. Out there, almost 60 miles per hour. Up there in Boston. And then, whatchamacallit? Look at Maine. Just off the coast, 45 to 50 mile per hour gusts. The Cape, hurricane force gusts, potentially. That's the latest Euro. Let's take a look at the latest GFS wind gusts. What's the latest GFS thing for wind gusts? Is my computer getting hot again? Okay, I'm going to have to open my window. Gosh, this thing. I swear. Wind gusts on the latest GFS. Trying to bring a lot gustier conditions into Georgia. 40, 45 mile per hour wind gusts. Get into the 40s. Charlotte. Notice again, eastern North Carolina. Wow, look at that. Trying to bring 60 to 70 mile per hour gusts out there in southern Delaware. Southeastern Maryland. 50 mile per hour gusts into New Jersey. 60 to 70 mile per hour gusts, Long Island, and then hurricane force gusts, potentially into portions of eastern Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and then 50 to 60 up there through Maine. Gusty conditions, but you have to understand, if this transitions just a little bit, now we're talking 75, 85 mile per hour gusts, true nor'easter blizzard conditions. So, okay, our 0-0-Z Euro is about 36 minutes away from loading. Do we have another model loaded in we can check out while we're waiting on that one? We've seen all of these, I think. This is going to be the big one. The Euro AI might load in right before as well. Such a pretty storm. Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, pretty good spot to be right now if you want heavy snow. Connor, tell Jim Cantori North Carolina has his room waiting. He could really chase. I mean, I almost want to assume if I'm Jim Cantori, because he doesn't know if this is going to hit up here. Right now, you're probably in because any second this thing could shift off. He's probably going to be stationed, if I were to guess, somewhere right here. Does anyone know where Jim Cantori is? Where is he? Jim, where are you? Jim. Let me see. Is he telling us where he's going? The latest from Jim Cantori, yeah, still eyeing a potential East Coast snowstorm for the weekend that will have snow. I guess I can show you what I'm looking at, huh? All right. Let's take a look here. Oh, $2 super chat. It's gonna happen again. I don't know if it's gonna happen this winter, but that does happen every now and then. Actually, I mean, but not that much. That was like a once in a century total. Maybe a once in like a 5-decade total. I appreciate the super chat. Nemanyan. Please tell me how to pronounce that. I'm gonna keep butchering it. All right. Jim Cantori still eyeing a potential East Coast snowstorm for the weekend that will have snow, wind, cold with it. There is still a lot of wiggle room. So no details, just watching it this time. Except for you guys want details. You see the unfair pressure you put on me? Jim Cantori saying no details. We will see how close it gets to the coast and where it wants to put the biggest snow/blizzard. Below the GFS and Euro from Tropical Tidbits and the trends from the last 6 model runs. Okay. Wow. Boston got 23 inches of snow. Wow. What's the latest from NOAA? Do we have any updates from NOAA? National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, not your friend, Noah. Let's see. Okay, that's good information, but not what I'm looking for. I already posted about this. Continued very cold temperatures will blanket the eastern half of the U.S. into next week. Strong surface low pressure system is expected to rapidly develop off the southeast coast Saturday and move off the mid-Atlantic Sunday, prompting widespread gusty winds. The surface low interacting with the very cold air mass will result in widespread heavy precipitation. We don't know the track. We don't know the rain-snow mix, precipitation type, rain-snow mix, and impacts yet, but moderate impacts are already being expected out here. So we're already seeing the potential. Whether you see a big blizzard or not, you can see where those impacts are already expected from NOAA. All right. I wonder what AccuWeather's saying on this thing. Anything new from AccuWeather? Oh, is this updated? 8 hours ago. We are updated. Charlotte looks to be officially in that moderate impact. Hazardous driving and some disruptions possible. And we're still out. Okay. This is our update. Frigid temperatures remain across the eastern half of the U.S. and in next week, low pressure rapidly develops just off the Carolina coast Saturday and tracks off the mid-Atlantic Sunday. We'll see. Strong onshore winds, at least along the coast. Coastal flood concern. I don't know about flood. Well, I guess, yeah, because you're going to have... oh, my God, I'm drawing a blank. You're going to have surge. Coastal flood concern. Is that how you spell that? Coincident? Right? Wouldn't you say coinciding with the full moon? Coincident? Is it coinciding with the full moon? Okay, so we could have heavy surge at the same time that we have a full moon, high tides. So, okay. This low interacts with the very cold air mass, resulting in heavy snow west of the offshore low track. Okay. There it is. This is updated there. Still seeing it. Last thing we'll look at AccuWeather, and we're going to continue to look at the models. We do have our European model coming out here pretty soon, like 28 minutes. AccuWeather. Oh, my gosh. Look at these pictures. Anyone in here, anyone in chat from Nashville? Nashville's been looking... The pictures out of Nashville were wild. Let me see. Nashville was wild. Yep, record-breaking temperatures coming up. Oh, look at that. What's that? Has it been the coldest winter since 2018? Detroit, New York, Washington, D.C., Pittsburgh, Boston? Yes, man, I appreciate that. Appreciate the $2 super chat. Somewhere we will definitely see 0 to 100 inches of snow. Facts. You are the most accurate person that has been on the stream or in the chat all day. Yes, coldest winter since 2018. You know what? Noah said we were going to be warm in Washington, D.C. Above average in potentially Boston, New York. Nope. Not me. Nope. We're cold. I wasn't sure about that as the Pacific Northwest, though, but we're cold. We were running below average since December 1st. And it's a beautiful thing if you like cold air and snow. All right, here's the latest from my man Bernie. Don't you jump scare me again, Bernie. Nope. Correct. He's right. He's 100% right. We're going to be freezing. Arctic. Polar. North Pole. That's right. Yes. 100%. Kinda. Yeah. Boo. Say it with me, chat. Boo. Yeah, he better not jump scare me, I swear to God. Boo. We don't want solution 1. Boo. Well, okay, we don't want worst case scenario. Can we get somewhere in between? Can we get a Okay. We don't want scenario 2 either. I don't want a full-fledged blizzard with hurricane force winds along the coast, okay? I like storms. I don't want to ruin everyone's day. Can we get a scenario 3 where it doesn't bomb out? I don't think we can if this thing tilts the way it's supposed to. But scenario 3, everyone gets heavy, beautiful snow. There's no ice. There's no wind. And everyone's happy. Boo. Now, you guys got to know, I love my Charlotte people. I'm expanding that over to Charlotte. I don't even care. Don't even care. I'm expanding that over to Charlotte. The thing is, though, I kind of see what he's saying here. I think Charlotte's going to see snow, like snow showers. You could get 8 inches in the Charlotte and still not call it a snowstorm. Snowstorm is when you start to get crazy precipitation per hours. It could snow for a while in Charlotte, but like crazy 1 inch precipitation that lasts for a while, and you start to get the winds picking up. Yeah. Educated Redneck, I got you. What's it? Oh wait, how are you? Educated Redneck, I really appreciate that $5 super chat. I appreciate all the follows and subs, guys. I'm gonna continue to go live every single day. You guys are awesome. I appreciate all the support, and we're gonna get back and we're gonna look at the Euro here in just a second. We're getting close. Thanks, Bernie. Everyone say thanks, Bernie. All right. Let's get back to this. Let me answer some questions. Listen, it doesn't matter where you are in North Carolina. There's a chance you see some good snow here. The Canadian and Euro are covering the entire sector. Most of South Carolina, too. But thanks, Bernie. Yeah, Stefan. Appreciate that, Educated Redneck. Not a lot of power outages from our last sleet ice storm in upstate South Carolina. Charlotte did pretty decent too. Well, the state of North Carolina saw over 150,000 plus people without power. Our local weatherman thinks it's because of Helene cleaning house when she came through. Yeah. Then you build a better infrastructure after that. Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia. Eastern Panhandle. Oh, there's a possibility, though. You really need this thing to jog west to get more snow into the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia. Am I zoomed in here? What happened? Oh, there we go. Reed Timmer just said he's going to go chase the bomb cyclone. I'm telling you, he's going to start right here. He's going to start somewhere right here. Southeastern Virginia. Maybe he'll get along the coast here, North Carolina. I don't know. He's risking setting up shop here in case this thing jogs east. This weekend, Heather, I know. Back at it again. I didn't lose power near Atlanta. Was surprised, and some did lose power in Atlanta. Yeah, we did get some power outages there. Holy crap. Educated Redneck, with our $5 super chat. Yes, Educated Redneck needs his toilet paper. Leave him some. I appreciate you. No, yeah, don't panic buy. Honestly, ice storms are way worse than snowstorms. You probably, unless panic buy out here. Definitely panic buy if you're here, okay? No, I'm just kidding. Do not panic buy. Should never panic buy. But I will say, as Bernie said, Eastern North Carolina, we got to watch a little bit closer. The rest of you guys, you're going to be just fine. Could get some really nice snow, though. I will say Charlotte shuts down if it gets half inch of snow. So you'll probably expect some road closures, everything to close out in Charlotte if we see this Research Triangle, Greensboro, you know where you guys are, Salem, Winston-Salem. If we do get blizzard-like conditions out here, you still don't need 50 rolls of toilet paper for a blizzard. You just don't. You don't. You don't need 20 loaves of bread and 5 gallons of milk for a blizzard. You just don't. You know what I mean, guys? Well, maybe you do. No, I'm just kidding. No, you don't. How much will Chesapeake, Virginia get? Where's... Hold up, actually. I'm forgetting. Yeah, Chesapeake, Virginia is in a pretty crazy spot. That's like one of those areas I think you might see Reed Timmer show up at. I don't know, though. Reed Timmer likes to really, really get ballsy. He might try to get right up here along the coast or even up here. We'll see. But, I mean, this is the guaranteed area, I think, or at least the highest chance we see winter storm / blizzard conditions. Again, we're still a little bit confused out here. But the 00Z Euro AI and European model are coming out here in about 22 minutes. 22 minutes. And be right back in 2 seconds. I'm back. I'm back. I found a quarter today. I hope it was heads up. If not, you're screwed. Ashley, hey chat. $2 super chat from Tanner. North Ga can get a lot. Now, are we talking about... What are we talking about? Are we talking about snow? I'm kidding. Yes, North Georgia can get a lot of snow from this. There is... You're saying there's a chance. I think north, especially northeastern, maybe even east central Georgia could end up getting a lot of snow from this. You're going to need to get into your 80th to 90th percentiles, though. I'll tell you that. If you know what I mean, you're going to need a little bit of luck on your side. But there's an opportunity there. Oh, we haven't even looked at... What am I doing, guys? Everyone always asks, what are the odds? What are the odds? What are the odds? Well, duh, Connor. We can look at the odds. All right. GFS. We can look at the new GFS panels, too. But let's take a look at the odds. Latest GFS ensemble odds. Is this going to load out enough for me on the ensemble? Okay. Let's take a look. Probability. Winter, an inch of snowfall. Here's the probability you get an inch of snowfall, at least an inch, with this winter storm this weekend. Well, kind of ignore what's going on up there. You guys know where you're looking. There you go. If you're in the red, it thinks 100%. The GFS is saying Charlotte, North Carolina, you are 100% chance going to get 100% can at least get an inch of snow. I think that's probably fair, but be careful with the GFS here. Okay, here you go. There you go. You guys can see it. You can read it. Okay, anything from the yellow to the red is a 50 to 100% chance. Anything from the dark blue to the light green, you got like a 10 to 40, 10 to 50. What are 3 inches? All right, we're getting into plowable snow territory. 3 inches of snow or more. There you go. The GFS thinks Charlotte, you got like a 70% chance to get 3 inches or more of snow. Again, careful, this is the GFS. We're seeing that up the coast too. Over a 50% chance, right? Straight up the coast from the GFS. Now things get interesting. 6 inches or more. Would you look at that? Charlotte, 30 to 40% chance you get 6 inches or more still on the GFS. Look at that. Research Triangle, Raleigh, Durham. You're up there, or maybe over 60% chance you get 6 inches or more on the GFS. Always have to state this is the GFS. Boston as well. Now, who could see a foot or more of snow? There you go. According to the latest GFS. So, $18 inches or more, Boston. 24 inches or more, basically Boston. Let's take a look at the European ensemble probabilities of winter. 1 inch or more. Look at that. The Euro says as well. Upstate South Carolina. Portions of upstate South Carolina, 90 to 100% chance of an inch or more snow. Pretty much all of North Carolina. Central to southern Virginia looks pretty good. And then out towards the coast, riding up the coast, pretty good. 3 inches or more of snow. What's the latest European think? Well, it put Charlotte in a 70% chance. Maybe 65 to 70% chance to see 3 inches or more snow. These aren't my numbers, guys. I'm showing you what the latest ensemble show. And this is the European ensemble. 50% or more chance you see over 3 inches of snow in, roughly, my drawings are bad, but, roughly this area. 6 inches of snow. Not looking too bad for Charlotte. Still 40 to 50% chance. According to the latest Euro, we're going to see what the 00Z shows. Could shift east and it could mess this up. Still giving Charlotte a good chance for 6 inches or more. I think it's being very generous here. Research Triangle, like 70+% chance. But you guys can see this is 6 inches or more of snow. This is basically over a 50% chance. Into there. That's the latest Euro. But we're about to get a new Euro 15 minutes from now. So we'll see where this moves. It's going to shift one way or the other. I promise you that. Yeah. MSMM Camp 6549. Yeah, he said, wow, 60%. Oh, you said in Columbia? What, Columbia, North Carolina? I appreciate the follows. I appreciate the subs, guys. I see them. How can they predict where a hurricane is going in multiple days, but they can't for a winter storm? Tony, I don't know how to tell you this. Have you ever seen what the cone of uncertainty looks like 4 days out? Typically, it's something like this. If you think that's predicting where the hurricane is going, Tony, I don't know what to tell you. Winter storm predictions are typically way more locked in. Now, if you have an easy steering pattern for a hurricane, if you've got your... Oh, I can't wait for hurricane season again. It's my favorite. If you got an easy steering pattern for a hurricane, got your Bermuda High sitting over here, you don't have a cold front moving in, right? You've just got nothing happening. It's so easy. You could be 4 days out, and your cone of uncertainty could be like this. That's just because there's an easy steering current. This is anything but an easy setup for our models to read the steering. There's a lot of different things pushing and pulling on this storm. Now, Tony, we get some hurricanes that are pretty inconsistent at this time frame. Hurricane Charlie was supposed to hit Tampa 36 hours out. It hit 90 miles to the south. Talk about a 90-mile shift in 36 hours. If that happened to this storm, if this winter storm shifted in 90 miles, even at this time frame, everyone would freak out. Charlie was quite a while ago. It was 2005. I'll give you that. So you're saying there's a chance for a foot of snow. I am. Viral games. Why does it look like North Carolina gets the brunt of this? Well, North Carolina could get the biggest snow totals, technically. But if we do get this thing, if we do see this westerly shift still, we do get this thing moving up the coast, that doesn't mean North Carolina is going to get the biggest impacts. Because, 6 inches of snow and hurricane force winds is going to create more power outages and more issues than just a flat, 6 inches to a foot of snow across the state of North Carolina. Although, to be fair, for North Carolina, you get 6 inches to a foot across the state. That's a big issue for North Carolina. That's not a big issue for PA or Jersey or New York or Massachusetts or definitely not Minnesota. But once you get down to the Carolinas and the South, they don't do too good with that much snow. Boston again? Maybe, Aaron. We are 11 minutes from the new Euro coming out. 00Z, big run, new data. Forecasting range, 96 hours and under. Although, like I always say, the best I would say real solid forecasting range is once you get to 72 and 48, you get your short range models. You're overestimating Charlotte's ability to function in the snow. Exactly. I thought about what I said, and I was like, 4 inches of snow, even 4 inches of snow into Charlotte is probably as bad as, it's probably worse than hurricane force winds and 6 inches into Jersey because Charlotte can't operate in snow. I know. I was there in 2020 or 2021 when it snowed like 4 straight weekends in January, and it kept being like 1 inch to 3 inches, and everything just kept shutting down. How much are you? And that's the last time. I think it was 2021. Last time we had a good or any sort of good, decent snow year. I think 5 inches fell out year, 6 inches, but it was like 3 different storms. How much are you thinking for Charlotte, North Carolina? The Euro and the GFS give you guys over 50% chance of seeing 6 inches. At this time frame, I'd say a 20% chance. I shouldn't do this at 96 hours, but I'm going to be irresponsible this stream. I want to say you guys are. I'm so close to just saying you're 100% going to get over 2 inches of snow, but I just don't know where it's going to go from there. And I've been saying this literally. I've been saying the Southeast is going to see snow whether this thing runs off the coast or not since last Friday. I said someone's going to see it. There's Arctic air diving into the Gulf. You're going to get a baroclinic boundary set up. You're going to get a low-pressure system trying to form off of that. The confidence in the cold air was big. All the models saw it, so I don't care about a storm track. We saw the cold air diving to the Gulf. You get some sort of precipitation out of that, and it's cold enough for snow. So I've always liked snow out here. This has been the question. It still is the question for most meteorologists, but Charlotte's always been in a good area. This, I think, has the chance to be the biggest snowstorm, I want to say, since 2019 in Charlotte or 2016. 2019? I think there was a pretty big one in 2019 in Charlotte. DC is close. You want a little bit more of a westerly shift from this. A little bit more of a westerly shift. 9 minutes to the latest Euro, guys. What's your call for East I-95? I told you I'm not giving you an exact call until I make my video tonight, and I'm still hesitant to do that, but I'll do it at the end of the video that you guys see tomorrow morning. It'll be up by probably 7:30 a.m. There's always a chance, but I think the Euro puts it to sea. You know, Emmanuel, you might be right. We're going to see, though. The Canadian really dropped my confidence because the Canadian has been holding west this whole time and it shifted east. And just because how the GFS performed last storm, I don't have too much confidence in it. The GFS was doing good at the beginning of the year, but it's struggled down the end here. And we still have plenty of time in winter yet. I shouldn't say at the end we got plenty of winter left, but we'll see. Euro AI is going to load at the same time the Euro AI has been doing good. So all I want for Christmas, I know Christmas is over. All I want for Christmas is for the Euro and the Euro AI to agree on whichever way they're going to agree on whichever way they go, but I would actually like them to go in the direction of the GFS, because if they go Actually, if anything, maybe even in the direction of the Canadian, because if we have the Canadian Euro and Euro AI all go back out east, then I can say, okay, the GFS is an outlier. If the Euro and Euro AI go west and then Canadian went east and the Canadian's the other good model and it did really well last snowstorm, that'll actually make me upset. Because then we'll still be stuck. We'll still be stuck. The GFS load in? Then yes. GFS shifted west. This is the latest 00Z GFS. It did shift west. You get heavy snow into the Carolinas, maybe even some into portions of Tennessee, Kentucky, eastern Georgia. You get big snow into Virginia, potentially big snow into Maryland, Delaware, up the Jersey coast, maybe Philly. You try to get some good snow in New York City. You would call this a nor'easter, but it's a little bit far off the coast. But yeah, the GFS shifted west. The Canadian shifted east. We're getting real close to seeing the Euro. 7 minutes when it starts to load. I'm so tired. You think North Jersey could get on this? We gotta wait. What do you mean, more snow? Yeah. Yeah. I need to switch up my playlist. I'm gonna switch up my playlist for you guys next time. Did you say snow in Maryland? That's what we're watching. Don't worry, it's very far away. It's still at least 3 to 4 days away. Yeah, it's coming up quickly. Cross fingers and toes, depending on if you want it or not. Fingers crossed it loads faster tonight than last night. I know. Greenland has one job. Ridge out, Greenland. What are the chances for good snow for Ronkonkoma, Long Island? That's definitely how you pronounce it. Central to Eastern Long Island. I like that. Probably pretty high right now. Even if it goes off coast, probably a little bit of snow still for you guys. But I probably shouldn't answer any more snow questions right before the Euro comes out and gives me a better signal. The new Euro begins to load in 5 minutes. But we might not have our answer for 25 minutes because it has to begin to load in. Although I'm going to be able to tell if it's trending west or east pretty early on in the model run before we get to where the snowstorm is. 3 to 4 days doesn't sound far away enough. I was just able to dig myself out in northern VA. The ice has made it challenging. Yeah, I bet. Ronkonkoma? I don't know. Okay, PB, we're not going back there. Don't tell me North Carolina getting more. It is. Very likely. I hope the Euro understands the assignment. You guys are funny. Hamilton, I appreciate it. Yarn, Gemini, made you trip. Pappy. Amy, Billy, Gemini, GG. I appreciate you guys. DJ Slankman. Looks good for Southern Maryland. It does look pretty good. I'm on the coast. California, Maryland. Yeah. Careful, Reed Timmer might show up. Or Jim Cantori. Good old Jimbo. Something like that, Ryan Wood. I need the latest trend to favor Northeast Georgia. That would be a pretty big shift west, but that's what the GFS did, so we'll see here in a second. 4 minutes and counting. I need to add some more funny things to my stream. Oh, I do have this here. Oh, wait, it didn't work. What? Hold up. Never mind. Blizzard for North Carolina, potentially. The Cowboy is good. You could do that one. Wait, what? Did I miss something? Northern Indiana might get a little clipper system, maybe even a nice snowstorm as we get into the middle of next week. Need it to move to Northeast PA. Well, we need a big shift west here. We're getting close. A couple minutes. Euro begins to load. Couple minutes and the Euro begins to load, ladies and gentlemen. Who's going to start first, Euro or Euro AI? Who's going to start first? I think the latest national blend is out. Do you guys want to look at that? Latest national blend is out. Here's the latest national blend. Tilt some of that snow. You can see it tilts some of the snow further off the coast up to the north, but it puts more snow into northern Virginia. It like pushes this snow out a tiny bit more, but it pushes this snow, it amplifies this snow down to the south a little bit more. It sees a flattening system there. The GFS went west, Canadian went east. It's taken, you would think it's taken more into account the Canadian, but I don't even think it has the last Canadian run in this here. Might not even have the last GFS in this 03Z. We probably have to wait until the last national blend, or the next national blend. It's giving thumbs down. You can see the knuckles too. It's giving a thumbs down to Coastal Carolina. It's saying, sorry. That's funny. That's good. It does look like a thumbs down. Or it's saying this is bad. All right. I said, nah. I'm sold. Good night, guys. Snowman. 60 seconds the Euro starts loading, but then it still has to load. So I feel you. I feel you. Get out of here. Come back next stream. Good night, man. Looks like we're about to get slapped, potentially. How can you argue with that? Right over my house. New Jersey will get snow again? Probably. Just dug out 2 feet in Warwick, Rhode Island, and we're going to get more? Yeah, you guys have projected another 4 feet. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. No, I'm kidding. Sound like burnt peanut. No, I'm kidding. You get no. We don't know Rhode Island yet. It's honestly more likely you get a blizzard than 4 feet of snow, but we'll see. Let's see what the Euro does. We're about to be there. We're about to be there. We are about to be there. It's probably saying, oh, no. Not you, North Carolina. Ain't happening. I know, right? The way North Carolina gets dodged. What would be the duration of the storm, possibly? It'd be a whole weekend event from the Carolinas up the coast. The icon is such crap. Burnt peanut ball knowledge. Needs to open the first so Atlanta gets in on the snow. Wait, open the first? I'm lost there. All right. Is the Euro going to be late? It is 14 minutes past the hour. The Euro is already 1 minute late. Actually, let's take a look over here. $500 millibar loads first. All right, we're off to a bad start. The Euro's a minute late. It's a minute late. We're never going to see it. Our whole night is ruined. I'm just kidding. Let's give it a second, guys. No one panic. Nobody panic. Nobody panic. Okay. I'm so nervous for North Carolina. Yeah, well, I think you could be just fine. Come on, come on. Give me. Don't do this again. You're not doing this back to back. I pay you too much Euro. I don't pay the Euro anything, but I do pay all these. I do have subscription to everything. Come on. Everyone in stream has been very patient, very kind. Do your thing now. Do the one thing that we like that you do. Are we getting another winter storm? Yes. It depends where you are if it's going to affect you, though. Intense breathing. I know. I feel like I need to do a backflip. I feel like I need a stretch. Can I stretch real quick? We'll do a speed round of questions. Actually, I'm going to wait to do my speed round until we see the Euro load here. If it takes a second, I'll just do a speed round answering questions. Alrighty. Life is a peanut. I appreciate you, Gabby. Benjamin. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, let me do a quick stretch. Quick stretch. Ohio, you could get some nice snow next week. Probably not from this storm. Probably not from this storm. Let me just check this real quick. Wouldn't want to start stretching as soon as it loads. Can't miss a second. Can't miss a second. Let me put on the national blend here while I stretch for a little bit so people know what the heck's going on. All right. This weekend. There's your thumbs down. Lake always tells me to stretch. Whoa. Did you guys hear that? I can touch my toes without bending my knees, by the way. I've been stretching a lot. All right, that's probably enough. That's probably enough. I don't need water yet. I had some water 2 days ago. All right, let's see. There it is. Okay, at least we have the Euro AI loading. All right? We've got something here. The Euro is likely going to follow the trend of the Euro AI. We've got something here, ladies and gentlemen. Big, gigantic, huge, monstrous. The Euro AI, by the way, loads quick. Monstrous update. We'll keep it on 10-to-1 ratio. The Euro AI, look at this. The Euro AI is already almost done loading. Right, 84. Okay, it also slows down the storm. Drum roll. What is it doing? Lowering snow totals. I think it's just slowing the storm. What are you doing? The snow looks like it's almost in the same spot. It's just heavier. I think the Euro AI goes west. I mean, yes. No, east. Sorry, east. Oh, my gosh. Ever so slightly, just like the Canadian. Ever so slightly. 10 miles. 10 miles east. Well, GFS goes west. Canadian goes east. European AI goes east. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? This thing has just stayed. I almost wish this had just ran offshore, because with the forecast like this, it's going to be so hard for me to try to give you guys what I expect down this corridor. Being this close to a system still at 96 hours, 108 hours, well, it's going to be closer to 80 to 90 hours as it runs up through the mid-Atlantic and New England. Having that much snow just off the coast, it's going to be real hard for me to give you a no-snow forecast in here knowing what could happen, especially with a GFS shift west. Oh, man. It's a wrap for North Carolina. I don't think it's a wrap for North Carolina. This is showing 10-to-1 ratio snow, by the way. We can't look at Kuchera snow on the European AI. We're probably going to get 15, I'd say at least 15-to-1 ratio snow into North Carolina, so these snow totals would likely be higher. We can only look at 10-to-1 ratio snow on the European AI. So if I had to assume this is the 10-to-1 on the European AI, you'd still probably see a widespread 7 to 10 inches across North Carolina if we were looking at the Kuchera on here. All right. Time to wait for the Euro. The Euro's loading in. Okay. The Euro's not too late. The Euro is now loading in. It is Euro time. North Carolina still looks safe. North and South Carolina look good. Potentially northern, eastern Georgia, Appalachia, central or southern Virginia, and then you get some up there in West Virginia and southeastern Kentucky. Out there towards Virginia Beach. Or what is it? Sorry, I don't know why I'm showing you nothing over here, guys. Give me a second. The Euro is loading. So we're going to look at that in a second. Well, we're going to look at that in a second. There is the latest European AI putting a monstrous snowstorm just off the coast. Still potentially trying to put a blizzard, I'd say, through the Cape, Boston, Rhode Island, maybe even central to eastern Long Island if we get little shifts east and west. Now, obviously, the GFS puts the snow down much further west. The GFS just had to do the opposite, which is going to screw with everyone's heads, even though we know I know I should favor the European AI, and I'm going to. There's been multiple times this year where the GFS solution ended up being right. It hasn't been of late, but in the beginning of the season, the GFS got it right a few times over the European and European AI. So you just don't know. Let's take a look at what the blocking looks like, and then I'm going to get to answering your guys' questions. The European is loading. Actual Euro is loading. Let's take a look at what the high latitude Greenland blocking looks like. Here we go. Struggling a little bit with the blocking over Greenland in the 00Z. What was it in the 18Z? So we have opposite things happening, and this is what I'm talking about. The GFS enhances our Greenland ridge from 18Z to 00Z. The European AI, collapses the ridge. Complete disagreement still. Is anyone shocked? All right, let me open the window so my computer doesn't explode, and then I'm going to answer all your guys' questions. All right? Give me 1 second. The latest Euro is loading in here. I'm just going to show you the national blend up until this point still, since it's going to be our best bet right now. Luckily for me, when my computer starts to run hot, because I'm doing a million things since dual streaming, I can just open the windows because it is -5 degrees here. All right. I sent you a snap of my location. Toccoa. Toccoa. It's 9 miles north of me. Where's my phone? All right. Let's do some rapid hitting questions here, guys. Yeah, that's a pretty good spot to be, Lake. That's a pretty good spot to be for this still. You ever considered streaming on Twitch? You know what, Carolan? I did, and I tried it for a few days. I said, I feel like there's not many weather people on Twitch, are there? And I almost thought, because I could dual stream on Twitch. And I almost thought, why not just... I got to be careful what I say right now, but why not just leave TikTok altogether and start dual streaming YouTube, Twitch? I feel like there's a place in Twitch for streamers like me. Or there's an opportunity. Anyone on Twitch see a lot of weather streamers? You're Jim Cantor, you got to get on a plane. Where are you going? Yeah, Chumbles, I've been talking about that. Right now, the safest place to go is going to be southeastern Maryland or southeastern Virginia. We're talking out there towards Newport News, Virginia Beach, Snow Hill. That's a good name. Ocean City. Ocean City might be real good. Ocean City, Maryland. That's your best bet. That's your safest bet. If you want to get aggressive and you really think, hey, we're going to get this thing close enough to the coast up here, this has the potential. I'll even give Long Island it. This has the potential to see an absolutely historic blizzard. This is safe. You'll probably see heavy snow and big winds, big winter storm. This is a risk, but you could pay off even more. But again, hey, over the next 24 hours, it could shift farther inland, and it's a blizzard for everyone. Guys, these models are frustrating. And I say down here is the safest bet because if we do get that run offshore, you're going to get nothing up here, obviously. All right, I'm going to answer questions real quick. If you're new in here, I post videos every single morning or every single day at least. I try to post videos every single day and live stream every single day to give you all the latest updates during winter, spring, hurricane season, all 12 months of the year, all the time, 365. Dual streaming on TikTok and YouTube, but I'm trying to move over to YouTube full time. Maybe I will try on Twitch. Yeah. Got a Discord. If you guys want to look at all the models I look at to get all the information I'm looking at every single day to try to get my weather forecast together, the Discord is completely free to join. The link to my Discord is in the description of all of my YouTube videos. Not YouTube Lives, not YouTube Shorts. Just go to one of my YouTube videos on my page. Go to the description box, and it's right there. Connor's Climate Corner, Discord. Click on it, you're in. Or just add me on Discord, Connor's Climate Corner. I give you all the latest snowfall updates every single day, winter storm updates, temperature updates, rainfall updates, NWS, severe weather, tornado, hail, wind, wildfire, earthquakes, drought, volcanoes, ENZO, MJO, hurricane storm reports, PDS alerts, flood warning, severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warnings as soon as they happen. They're in here. SPC, NHC, WPC, space weather updates, all the weather links I use. Everything's in here. And you get to look at funny weather memes. And, hey, there it is. Everyone's weather photos. That's a really good photo. Tim. Oh, that's solid too. Tim A. And you get to chat with a bunch of people who like this stuff. And I'm going to be adding a lot more weather training videos into here too that I might not put online. So anyways, completely free to join. I just want people to join because I put a lot of work into it. All right. I'm going to get into answering all your questions now. Let me just add anyone who might have jumped in here so you guys can actually see what's in the Discord. If you did join tonight, I'm just going to make you part of the Climate Crew so you can see everything that's going on in the Discord. Again, I get up typically. I mean, there's mornings I miss. I've got 2 kids and another full-time job. Sometimes I miss, but typically every single day this is all updated. The Euro does go opposite of the Euro AI sometimes. I would say maybe 10 to 20% of the time. It usually follows some sort of trend with the European AI. But, it typically rolls with it. I think the Euro is what the Euro AI trains off of. They're different. The the AI models aren't putting in data and then algorithmically figuring out what is that data going. Sorry, you guys were looking at nothing. Algorithmically figuring out what does that data mean for the forecast. It gets data and it says, okay, with this data set, with similar data set, what has the European model seen in the past? What did it think was going to happen? What actually happened? I need to learn from all the mistakes that the Euro's making. It's kind of like that. Santino, $2 per chat. Appreciate that. Okay. So. All right. What's the latest European at? Okay. The European's going pretty quick. We were at 39. We're at 39. Let's see if we can see a trend yet. Let's see if we can see a trend with the latest Euro. Maybe. Let's see. There's 39. We load it again. There's 39. Where's our 540? Running straight through the panhandle of Oklahoma. Let's go to the 18Z. Go to 45. I see a trend east. Tiny one, but we'll see what happens here. The last Euro trended west, and it was a good look. So are these models just going to keep ticking back and forth down to the wire? We'll see. We will see. Okay, we're at 42 frames, 45. The Euro's loading in pretty quick here. Might get our answer sooner than we thought. Come on, let's get there. All right, we'll have it in a second, and we'll look at it together. So no snow in Philly. Again, you guys, not... There's a lot of jumping to conclusions. There's a lot of jumping to conclusions with winter storms. I remember we had like one tiny shift north with our last winter storm, and everyone in Baltimore and D.C. said they were going to see no snow. It was going to be all sleet and ice. And I know some of you underperformed your snow, but if you're in D.C. or Baltimore, I'm assuming you saw snow. Let's stop seeing one operational control run shift 10 miles west and say, we have no chance anymore. Because guess what's most likely to happen? It's going to tick east again. There's a reason we look at the national blend at this time frame, and I'm not just staring at an operational or control run. Jenna Blue. Oh my gosh, your names rhyme. I appreciate you guys. Erica, Irish. Yes, Baltimore, Maryland had snow. If you use the beta version for Pivotal Weather, it's easier to compare and contrast. Yeah, I know. I just hate the beta version. The beta version's annoying, and I have my screen set up so that you can see the other version better. You guys can kind of see this. It needs to be moved out a little bit more. It's not centered in my screen. Hold up. Let me see if I can get it centered. Still not centered in my screen. Anyways, yeah, you can compare and contrast. I haven't used it in a while. I just don't like how the beta version of Pivotal Weather set up. I think it's trash. I think they could have made the user interface just so much simpler. But here, let me pull this in. We'll take a look at it. Okay. That'll work. That'll work just fine. All right. Last runs, model comparison. Let's look at the Euro. Okay, so this is the... Hold up here. Model trend. Okay, but we want this to be further out. Give me a second. That's at the 57. All right, so we can look at the model trend here. Are we looking at the Euro? We're looking at the Euro here. Okay, 75, 69, 63, 57. All right, so let's give it a second. We'll actually look at it from here, from the 36. 1 second, guys. I'm just getting this together. Yep. Here's the model trend. You're actually seeing a steeper trough. What's the latest? How loaded are we on the 00Z? So we'll look at the 63 here, the model trend. Here we go. So you see how we're getting... before, this was much more collapsed, and we were getting almost more... I can't draw on this too, apparently. Anyways, here, let me open my other pen so you guys can see this. So here... originally our euro was rooting for more of a zonal, not technically a zonal flow, but this was running off. And you'll see as the models go in, this starts to become sharper, and it's going to allow for a tilt as we move forward here. So let's erase this. Okay. So, and let me make sure we're all the way up to date. We'll get on the 66 here. You can see the trend. Okay, let's just look at the last model and this run. This run, last run. Wait, last run, this run. Last run, this run. Ooh. This may not be a shift east. This may be a shift west. Does that look like it's going west to you guys? 18Z, 00Z, 18Z, 00Z, 18Z, 00Z, 18Z, 00Z, 18Z, 00Z, 18Z, 00Z, 18Z, 00Z. It does, right? Uh-oh, warm nose. We've always seen a little bit of a warm nose. Not much, though. It's small. It's always hard to tell, though, is the model slowing down the system, or is it actually shifting the system? Because a slowdown makes it look like that, too. All right, let's get back into the 00Z. We're at 69. It does look like a little bit of a shift west. That's very, very interesting. This would be the most confusing thing ever. The Canadian and the Euro AI shifting somewhat significantly east, and the Euro and the GFS going west. You can't make this up. We're about to find out together. We're about to find out together. Oh, boy. Oh, buddy. 72 hours. Let's get a better answer here. 72. No, we want to be at 72 hours out. There we go. No, that's forecast. We want model trend. Thank you. Okay. No, let's get this at, let's get this at 72 again. 1 second, everyone. 72 model trend. 18Z, 00Z. 18Z, 00Z. 18Z, 00Z. That looks like it's coming west. I don't know what to tell you guys. Kristen, let's go. What does west mean for anyone watching? Better chances for a big snowstorm through Baltimore, D.C., Philadelphia, Jersey, New York City, Hudson Valley, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Maine. Still good snow in the Carolinas, Virginia, maybe Atlanta, Georgia. But again, we're now going to have 2 globals west, 2 globals east. Unbelievable. Let's continue to see how this updates. We're getting closer and closer to when this storm. Yeah, we're okay. This is going to be significant. What we see here. Oh my gosh. Now you see the low on the 00Z further east, but you see maybe this does go east. We're getting our trough further west, and this might be deceiving, guys. We're getting our trough further west. We're about to figure out anyways. We're getting our trough further west, which leads you to believe that you're going to have a little bit more time for that neutral to negative tilt. Although now that we're seeing our low pressure form further off into the north and east on this. That has to do with when our energy interacts with this is our cold energy, this is our storm energy when they interact. So let's hold our horses. Maybe it doesn't go west. 81. You see the back end is further west. Our 540 line is trending west, but it almost looks like our storm is trending east. Our cold air is trending west, which you would think, and driving further south help to tilt it a little bit quicker. But our piece of energy is a little bit further out to the front. So it could outrun the steering current. All right, let's keep watching. We're almost there. Still in a good placement for the Carolinas. Still liking it for the Carolinas. Obviously. $18.0, $18.0, $18.0. Again, though, even if you look at the 00Z and we're looking at our isobars, you've got a lot of our isobars are shifted west, but our low is showing up farther east. Again, it's where does our low form along this boundary? So it does look like we're trying to tilt earlier, but our low may be forming along a different part of the boundary. So, okay. Come on, let's load in here. 84. Model trend, there you go. Oh, man, this is tough. This is colder air into Texas. This is... If you look at our isobars up here, our isobars that are helping to steer the storm, if you're looking at like this one specifically, this isobar right here that cuts through New Jersey and Philly, shift it to the northwest. What are these doing down here to the south? Doesn't really matter. Like I said, we're about to figure out, but I'm trying just to get a second ahead of it. 18.0. Okay. It's a northwesterly shift on the euro. Definitely not going out, not straight out to sea. Let's continue to look at this. Hold up here. 87. 87. Model trend. 87. Here we go. 18. This is beginning to cut north. Here's a good way to look at it. Here's from the 00Z from yesterday. Here's the trend over today. Ready? From last night. Here's the trend over today. You clearly see the trend over the last 24 hours is where, guys? Starting last night, it's in. This is last night. This is tonight. This is last night. This is tonight. It's coming west. So, this is going to try to pull it potentially up into Rhode Island. Let's watch. 90 hours. I want you to notice, here's the 18Z. Look at our isobars. Look at the angle of our isobars here. They're going to sharpen further up to the north. You get into our 00Z, and they're running in a more northerly track here. So, all right, we got the 93. Let's see. Let's reload again to make sure it's all loaded up. 96. All right, this is going to be pretty much our answer. Slightly weaker. You're getting very close to a negative tilt here. Now we're getting our isobars. This is hard to tell. You've got colder air. It's weird because you would expect this to actually be a stronger system based on what we're looking at. You would expect this to be a stronger system. You've got our 540 line actually digging further into Florida. This is going to put even colder. We have a below freezing air digging down into like Broward County, Fort Lauderdale, almost Miami here. This is our 540 lines driving further south. It has to do with where the low forms along this boundary. Our 540 line is driving further south. I would almost expect this to bomb out more than the run before, but we're not really seeing that. It's pretty similar. All right, 102. 102, model trend. There you go. Here's our last 3 runs. So it comes, it honestly, last run was a little bit better for North Carolina, but it's not there's not a major difference here. That's really stalling out. Okay, let's continue to watch this. We're almost there. We're almost there, chat. 105. 969. Now it starts to look like it's off coast a little bit more. So this is, yeah, again, this is what's interesting. So this is looking a little bit more like the Euro AI. This is what's interesting. Again, you get your trough a little bit farther west. You get this cold air digging a little bit further to the south. You think this is going to help tilt our system, keep it closer to the coast. Our storm system, our piece of energy from the south that's helping, our moisture that's helping to create this low pressure system along our trough boundary, it's forming a little bit farther out to the east. Our low is not forming, like Bernie said, although it's hard to tell. Our low seems to be forming kind of like what the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration is saying, NOAA, is forming more off to the southeastern coast of South Carolina. It's not forming here. It's out here. And so it's trying to outpace our cold energy from the north. All right, let's finish watching this, and then we're going to talk about all the latest totals. $965. You have this is a bomb cyclone. Starting to put snow. You can see there's a difference here. It's obviously still too close to call. This one did end up following the Euro AI a little closer, guys. So let's look at the latest snow total on this. Let's go here. Euro. This is we only have it 90 hours out right now. That's fine. We're gonna watch this. So this is still loading in here. Give it a second. I mean, we can go back to pivotal weather for a second if you want. We'll take a look at winter weather, and we'll take a look at total snowfall. We'll take a look at Kuchera. Model trend from model to model. So the 18Z, let's go down to the southeast. The 18Z puts 13 inches into Charlotte. The 00Z only gives Charlotte 9 inches of snow. Does that mean you're going to get 9 inches of snow, Charlotte? No, you could get 50. You could get 0. All right. But that's your trend for tonight. That's your trend for tonight. Let's watch the trends. Here's what our trends have been looking like. Here is where your snow was. Actually, let's put this. This is going to have to be a little bit further out. Here was your snow. Here was your what was expected yesterday from the Euro. 4 inches. 1 inch. 4 inches. Oh, look at that. Now our snow totals go up. All right, let's get into Weather Bell. I'm going to start answering everyone's questions. And what are we at here? Give me 1 second. Let me get everything reorganized. All right. There's the 00Z. There's the 18Z. Not a major shift in the snow line. There is a shift in the snow line, just like the Euro AI. But once again, because the low is not forming here, it's forming kind of here, a little bit further out, your snow totals are going down. I don't think anyone's going to complain about 5 to 10 inches in this region. I think everyone would be excited, especially north and eastern Georgia, South Carolina. This would actually help get snow and not ice along the coast of North Carolina and South Carolina. So you guys are actually probably liking this trend. You had a chance to get some sleet and ice out here. But once again, this is a 20 to 40 mile difference between heavy snow up and down Well, maybe probably a 50-mile difference between heavy snow up and down the I-95 corridor or this staying off the coast. All right. There's no shot that happens. Tomorrow's going to be huge, not going to lie. I know, no kidding. Yeah, I mean, and this just reinforces what I've been saying about this area. The area that continues to look safe is the Carolinas. Obviously, once we get past the Carolinas, the tilt of the storm, the question is, does it go like that or does it go like that? We know this left option here is a blizzard up and down the coast, which is still a possibility. And we know this right, which the GFS sees now. The GFS trended pretty much into a coastal blizzard. And we know the right is pretty much no snow for the coast, but still strong winds, probably 40 to 60 mile per hour gusts still along the coast. While you got some record-breaking cold, so it'd be pretty insane wind chills as well. This promises you a bunch of snow. Yeah, it does actually give you a bunch of snow, like. Watch the models pick up Greenland blocking tomorrow. It's possible. The European model with our last snowstorm, guys, in the last 48 hours, shifted the storm like 50 to 100 miles north. So you look at this, and we're talking about when this snow is beginning to move up the coast. That's about 80 to 90 hours out. That's why it's still impossible to tell. If the Euro does even half of what it did last storm, it would shift all of this snow into the I-95 corridor. I would like to think last storm was a fluke from the Euro, because last storm the Euro did pretty bad, and it usually performs better than it did last storm. And if the Euro performs as good as it usually does, that's not going to happen. But if we see another fluke like we did from the Euro last storm, again, you could end up with major snow along the coast. So it's just a tough call. I don't know what to tell you guys. We're still sitting here, and we're going to be getting closer to 72 hours tomorrow, and it might be a tough call for the Mid-Atlantic and coastal New England. East Tennessee, you probably want to be up in the mountains for this one, but you're going to be cold enough. You're going to be cold enough at low elevation for snow, even down at like Chattanooga and stuff. The question is, our low pressure is forming way off the southeastern coast. Are you going to get some precipitation up there, or are you going to be choked out by dry air? I think eastern Tennessee might be choked out by dry air. Could there be Gulf effects? No, there could be. I wouldn't expect any sort of accumulations into Florida, but you could see some snowflakes falling, definitely, over the weekend. Northeast Georgia, pretty good for at least 2 inches. Still looking pretty good. Again, here's the latest Euro. Here's the latest Euro AI. But again, the Euro AI isn't going to give us a Kuchera look. That's why the snow totals are down. We're going to be pretty cold from the surface all the way up to the tropopause here. So we would probably see heavier totals here, more of a 15-to-1 ratio, not a 10-to-1 ratio. Here's the GFS. Obviously, still trying to put snow down through D.C., Baltimore, maybe even Philly, New York City. The GFS still likes the snow trying to get through the coast. That's the 00Z. And I think the icon, and here's the Canadian. Canadian shifts this just offshore again here. And still good snow out here, though. Obviously, still good snow for Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina. And here's the national blend, which is pretty important to look into at this point because there's a lot of questions. Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, it's going to be more Saturday. Friday night into Saturday. Friday night, you could see some snow start falling. Maybe Tennessee, eastern Tennessee, northeastern Georgia, Carolina, North Carolina, South Carolina, western Virginia, eastern Kentucky, southern West Virginia. Friday night into Saturday morning. It's going to be probably a Friday night into a Friday night, Saturday event for you in the Southeast, and then this would end up being like a Saturday night into Sunday event for the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast if it does take the westerly track. You want the low to trend southwest 100 miles? We'll see about that. So regardless, we would see 4 inches of snow in the Charlotte area. Charlotte's... I don't want to jinx Charlotte because Charlotte has had some bad luck over the last 4 years, but Charlotte's in a pretty good area. Unfortunately, I'll probably be awake when the next GFS comes out, too. Oh, Lord. Well, you know what? I think it's about time I make a video. Maybe I'll put this video together, take a look at what's going on. I don't know. I almost want to hold off until this. I don't really care about the off-hour runs. Actually, I don't really care about the 06Z. 06C will set the pattern. You'd hope. You'd hope getting into 70, 80 hours before a storm. Tubbs, Sexy. Love Zapino. Wait, what? Daphne. Krista J. Krista Arsh. Arsh was popping. Nana Gem Blue. What's going on, everyone? I appreciate you guys. Monroe, Louisiana for this weekend. Could see some record cold temperatures down there, I'll tell you that. I don't think you're going to see any snow, though. How confident are we that it'll stay in the Carolinas? Pretty confident. Pretty confident. 80, 90%. Long Island, what we thinking? You still got to, I mean, listen, you could still get big snow in New York City. Your chances are much better if you're out in eastern Long Island with the trends we've seen. Unfortunately, we have not seen any sort of consensus once again. The models aren't following each other. They're kind of still doing the opposite of each other. We saw more go east this time, though. Yesterday, we saw more go west. Today, we saw more go east. It's annoying. All right, guys. I appreciate all follows. I appreciate all subs. Again, if you want to join my Discord, all the models we look at in here, all the information I talk about, everything is in the Discord. It's updated every single day, not just for snow, but for severe weather, hurricanes. Everything you want to know is in the Discord. You can get into my There's a link to my Discord in every single one of my YouTube videos. Not lives, not shorts. Every single one of my YouTube videos. Just go into the description. Join the Discord. It's completely free. And, or you can just add me, Connor's Climate Corner with no apostrophe between the R and the S. Connor's Climate Corner HQ. Connor's Climate Corner HQ on Discord. I'm going to be posting another video tomorrow morning. I'm going to be streaming again tomorrow. And we're going to talk about this. Someone's going to get slammed with snow. I'm confident in this area I'm circling here. Maybe even further into Georgia. But in this area I'm circling here, you're going to see snow. And someone's going to see big snow. Question mark here. Still, you definitely want to be closer to the coast. It's getting less and less likely through the DC, Baltimore, Philly area. But not impossible. We'll have to see what our 06Z and 12Z do tomorrow. We need some nicer blocking up over Greenland. We need that ridge to grow a little bit. And if it does, well, we have a big storm. We have a big nor'easter on our hands this weekend. We'll see. I appreciate all you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mods. You're the best. Peace.